Leigh, I've sort of lost count of how far into the thing we are. I think it's day 5. But one thing I can say with some certainty, we're going to guarantee
we definitely
some good entertainment tonight.
We certainly do that. It's it is day 5. You're right. It is event number 6. Now, in line with what's going on with the series, where I know Des and I we've promised 2 guests every single show, but we've had to reduce that. We've had to cut that back, so we've had to reduce it down. So it's basically 1 and a bit guest. Now, we're not going to offend either of the guests by saying who's now the bit and who's the one. That would be too offensive. We'll just say a very warm welcome to Paul Haycock, and back into the country, Mr. Stuart Ward. How are you both doing?
Hello.
I'm all right. Just like everybody else, I'm only here for Stu's Vegas stories. Don't worry.
Brilliant. Lovely to see you both, guys. Stu, can't wait to get into some of the stories. I'm beginning to think maybe you're the bit, because you look, I'm only seeing your head, right? So we're only getting a bit. We're only getting a bit. There we go. There we go. I feel like we're whole again, Leigh. I feel like we're whole again. There's probably a song in that. Before we get into the sort of the Stu news and anything else that might be bubbling under, what event are we covering tonight, sir?
Right, we are on event number 6. It is the Six Max Knockout. This is the one that was super value if you got to play it last night. So well done to all 83 players that managed to cash in that. One of those, finishing 83rd, was our very own Brian Yates. So very well done to him, picking up a little bit of extra value in the prize pool last night. It guaranteed 40,000. We didn't really get close to it, unfortunately, but we are down to the final table of 7. So these guys are playing out for some seriously big amounts of money now. There's basically 3,500 for first and second, plus obviously the bounties, the way a PKO plays out. So that's where we're at. So I'll just quickly run through the 7 that we've. Well, I won't. I'm not going to. I lie. I'm going to run through 6 of the players, but we'll you'll see why in a minute. So that's where we're going to be. So Mikkel from Denmark is chip leader at the moment, and just picking up a nice tidy pot of chips there. He's got nearly 15.5 million chips. And then Pedro from Malta. Ruslan, it was a different Ruslan, I think. There was another Ruslan was on the final table a couple of days ago, Des, from the Ukraine, if I remember rightly. Oscar Rodriguez from Argentina. Conrado Galdino from Brazil. Care Halama from Finland, and then our good friend from Georgia, which is basically how that he or she is going to be known for their duration of time on this final table, unless either of our guests wants to. Simon Lawler's normally good at this kind of stuff. He'll be in the chat in a minute, telling us exactly what the pronunciation of the name actually is. But yeah, it's going to be our friend from Georgia, who's currently the short
Georgia
stand.
Dave, I think. Georgia Dave.
Georgia Dave sounds a good way of
Georgia Dave. Georgia Dave it is.
So they are the 7 remaining on the final table. Min cash is $635. Obviously, they're picking up bounties along the way as well. Pedro there, Marrero, has already picked up $550 worth of bounties. Mikkel's picked up $526 worth. Ruslan's got $484 worth. Poor Conrado from Brazil, just $43.75. That's what's called doing a Wigglesworth. Yeah, that is. So yeah, not great. But hey, we always know that when it comes down to this this final table of these knockouts, if you can get there at the end, the bounty available at the top can pretty much double your prize pool. So it's a huge amount up for grabs.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Leigh. Let's go straight to the chat box, and it is heaving in there. I can tell already. So, if you want to shout out tonight, guys, just say something.
I'm already going to sort out Mr. Lawler's request of can I put big blinds on the screen because we haven't got Dan Houston in. Well, actually, no, Dan's there as well. Dan will be commenting in a minute. Knowing, can you put the chip counts on, please?
Take those big blinds down and get the chip counts up. What the hell?
Yeah, I love you more than anything, but you are talking bilge about that, mate.
It's early. It's early. It's already started.
Early. Sorry, Dan.
Listen, Leigh mentioned the Oracle. Simon is out there and says good evening. Good evening to you, sir. Simon, once again, he's on the YouTube TV combo. So, he sat back on his couch. He's got the big old YouTube up there. We're on the wall. Fantastic. Good for you, sir. Mr. Sibley is back. Brave man. This is several days in a row. Of course, he is recovering from an illness. Strange that he would choose us as the recovery aid. But he does say, oi, oi, Savalois. Mr. Austin is there. That's why we're all here. I think we're talking about Stu's stories there. Triss is there as well. Oi, oi, all hope you had a blast, Stu. Dan says this story's better involve hookers and blow. Hold on, I think that was last night's show. Was that not last? I think that was last night's show.
We've already done the 20-year-old escorts at least twice this week.
Maybe we'll come back to that. Danny Williams is out there. Yo! Good to see you, Dan. You were great last night. Tony G is in the house. Evening, ladies and gents. Playing my first games of the series tonight. So good luck to you, Tony. Mr. Sharples is out there. Yep, good luck pronouncing that one name. I think he's talking about Georgia Dave. No issues there.
Dave.
No issues there whatsoever. Yeah. Georgia Dave. Yeah. We got the BBs thing. Tony Ross is there. As always, all evening to you, Tony. We get a little bit of big blinds. JP is there. Welcome to the cheap seats. Indeed. Big blinds.
We could have a lot of fun.
Do you get that reference, Ben?
Oh dear,
Did you get that reference? Welcome to the cheap seats. Do you know where he was supposed to be?
Yeah, it's due to train cancellations today. He's not gone where he should have gone tonight.
Oh no!
Maybe we shouldn't give it away. Maybe we shouldn't give it away quite yet.
Okay.
So where do you think JP should have been tonight?
Well, he should have been on this show, shouldn't he? Some people, no commitment.
Maybe you're right.
That's what you've got to work out. Yeah, you've got to work out where do you think JP should have been tonight, but has had to cancel.
He could have been.
The clues are there, folks. The clues are there.
He could have been at a beautiful beer tasting evening. He could have been at. Is a rugby during?
Either that's not sporting, and it probably would have been drink related, but not specifically drink related.
Don't know what events are on, but I'm sure we're going to ponder that.
I'm disappointed you haven't got it from his comment, Des. To be honest, you're better than that.
Welcome to the cheap seats.
Yeah.
I'm not better than that. Apparently, I'm not better than that. Mr. Alston, however...
As he starts thinking, he's going to get dizzy trying to work it out, isn't he? So
I'm not even going to go there. I've moved on. I have moved on, folks. Mr. Alston, however, puts it right back in your eye, Paul. What's your beef? So what's your beef, boy?
It's just the big blinds thing, mate, don't worry.
Nosy P is out there. Wayne Parker, looking forward to next weekend. And to be honest... We haven't talked a lot about Nottingham, but it's creeping up. It's creeping up pretty darn quickly. Kev O'Hanlon is there. Good luck all playing tonight. Lovely to see you in, Kev. JP, he adds another clue possibly. You're building up this question to the max.
See, if we complete that, then everybody will get it. Sure.
Yeah. You got to leave it. He spent the night measuring up Daisy. Yeah.
That sounds a bit. That sounds a bit dodgy. John Sibley, I'm stuck in my daughter's 8x6 bedroom, isolating. I've made sure I've got Lappy, Lucasade donuts, Sky TV. The wife's doing waitress service. At what point do I tell her I'm a DTD? 1st to the 3rd for what will be my 40th plus night since December. Lol. I reckon if I could get that sort of service going, I'd be willing to sort of sit and cough gently every now and again. It sounds to me, John, as if you have it solved, my friend. You have solved life. So there we go. So it's a busy old chat box. Do get your comments in, guys, if you want us to discuss anything in particular.
Could we not get some photos of John when he's queuing to get into Dustin? And we'll just say he's gone for an extra booster or something. He's queuing for vaccinations. Could we make that work for him?
I'm surprised
we'll
he hasn't
Photoshop some signage in.
I'm a bit surprised he hasn't put a call out for volunteers to come in through his bedroom window to sort of just cough gently every now and again while he's gone to DTD. Right, his missus can still think he's in there.
Exactly.
Just shove another Lucasade sort of in through the door. I'll be
fine. Now, what I should say is this Six Max started at 8 o'clock with 16 runners, and I must admit I started setting up about 22.9 and thought, oh bloody hell, we're down to 7 already. This is going to fly through. But actually, if you look at the stack sizes here, even our friend from Georgia, who's all in with queens, up against the 6-5 of Pedro, is going to be good. So he's going to get a double up. So even Georgia Dave now is on 35 big. So I think the short stack now is Car from Finland with 25 bigs. So it ranges now between 25 bigs and 94 bigs. There's a load of play in this, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, say 25 bigs is still plenty at this stage in time. You're one double away from being like third in chips. So yeah, it's absolutely huge at the minute. It's very, very deep.
And of course, what we're playing here is 15-minute clock, and the jump between 7th, which I said was $635, to 2nd, which is $3,500. So that's like a $3,000 pay jump for effectively, what's that going to be? 5 bust outs on this final table. That's huge for a $55 comp.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, it's not just a $55 comp, Leigh. This is the comp that has destroyed 16 years of APAT. We're having to have a goddamn rebuy or a re-entry on the main event online comp at the weekend. It's destroyed us.
Yeah.
What was the overlay in the end? I don't mean to kick you while you're down, but what was the overlay?
16 grand.
16 grand.
No. It was 15,600.
Oh, sorry. I exaggerated.
Yeah. Let's look. Oh, just don't blow up the story for a headline, Stu. Yeah, I mean, all right. Come on now. Let's just keep it realistic, shall we? Yeah.
I'm surprised you and Leigh aren't sat here wearing like Dick Turpin masks the way you're stealing value of people.
Listen. Joking aside, and I thought Leigh did some, wonderful responses in the group. We're disappointed. Is all that we can say. We are disappointed. I think that's almost how I'd like to leave it. Leigh, you might have plenty more to say, but we're
I don't have much more to say. That we're being a bit jokey about it and trying to not be too serious about it, because if you'd have probably got us live on a stream about 8 or 9 hours ago, we were pretty hacked off about the situation. But it is what it is, and it's sort of out of our hands a little bit. And I kind of understand why the decision was made to just adjust a few of the guarantees and try and cover off some of this. And I think in the grand scheme, I think in the second bit that I posted up, just trying to make it clear to guys, it's not great, but also we're talking about, we did guarantee $295,000. We're now guaranteeing $270,000.
Can I just add to that, Leigh, because I think this is really important. We didn't guarantee anything, right? Party did. And if you look back at APAT over the last 15 years, we haven't guaranteed anything, because that's not something that we tend to do.
No, the only time we do is if it's at the request of the venue, and partner, it's not us guaranteeing it. It's
absolutely.
So for example, the World Championship main event in Vienna had a guarantee on it, but that was at the request of the Concord Casino, and they stumped up for it.
But in fairness, Leigh, all that I'm going to say is, on the fingers of this hand, you can count the amount of guarantees that we've offered over the years. Typically, we'd have run that type of series with no guarantees. I mean, the fact that there's 270K is like, I mean, frankly, I'm not delighted to see the guarantees, because I think it brings in a lot of other sort of players that aren't necessarily aware of who we are and stuff like that. But it is what it is. We've fallen into parties' sort of strategy of how they want to reach out to all sorts of players. That's fine. We take the good with the challenging, and unfortunately, it's just been challenging overnight, shall we say?
And then there's still a load of good. I mean, you look at the added value for the live series as well, and the $3,000 seat that goes to the winner of the live main. It's there's still some great stuff there.
I just want to directly kind of respond to Tom Bacon's comment in the chat. I don't know whether you can bring that up, Des, or whether I'll just read it out.
Let me do that. Let me
to be honest. Tom's said, is there any comment on rumors that the live WCOAP main event is unlimited rebuys up to the start of day 2 and will display chips in big blinds? Well, I mean, we weren't going to announce it yet, but I suppose now's as good a time as any to do this, isn't it? You're sort of right, Tom, but not completely right in the way it's going to work. So we're going to bring in something new. Nobody's seen this before, but we're really just kind of up with what's going on at the moment in the world in general. So the main event is going to be an unlimited mystery rebuy. So if you want to rebuy, you go and pick an envelope, and that will tell you how many chips you've got to start with. And it could be anything from 10,000 right up to a million chips. There's a million chips you could be lucky enough to be starting with. And yes, you are right. We will be displaying all chips as big blinds live at the tables, completely new. New technology to allow us to do that, but we've got Dan Austin on the team who's been developing that for us. He's really excited about the idea, cannot wait to show everybody how it's going to work. So that's the plan. So if you're not going to be at Dusk Till Dawn next week, you really should be there, because you don't want to miss out on that.
Yes, I'm disappointed you laughed along to that, because I guarantee that at least 5% of the people listening would have swallowed that.
I'll tell you, listen, there's an acrid sense of humour on show tonight. I can tell that. I don't think you've seen the end of it either. But Leigh, I think you missed an opportunity there when you started by saying each envelope will have an amount. It'll be 10,000 to a million. I thought you were talking about the buy-in would be mystery. So it would be a mystery buy-in or a rebuy amount. Oh shit, I've picked that envelope. I've got to pay 10 grand.
Could you imagine that? We'd be like, so to enter this comp, we first of all need to do a credit check on you to see whether you'll be able to cover the mystery buy-in that it could potentially be. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, Adam is saying, is it wrong that I'm trying to work out if that could potentially be possible? If it counts entries, maybe would be interesting either way. You're going to get us in trouble, Adam. Yeah, you are going to get us in trouble. So Dan is gone. Apparently, it's finito. I mean, has the event even started yet that he's playing?
I have no idea. Yeah.
He's gone. I'm out. He said it 3 times.
He is not keen on the big blinds at the live tables. I don't think he's up for it. Clearly not. I don't know. I had Dan as more of a modern thinker. Maybe I got it wrong.
Yeah, I think so. Eddie's out there as well. Good evening. All says Eddie. Same back to you, sir. Good to have you in. And as Stu said, yeah, you forgot the top up at end of day 1. That was his response back to Tom Bacon. Yeah. Quite right.
There's lots you could do, but I know at the end of the day, APATers love to keep poker as pure as possible, and looking at it like that, and it's kind of trying to roll with the times, but trying to actually keep it as level a playing field as we possibly can. I think what we should just say on the freeze out discussion, because I think, to be honest, the freeze out discussion is actually more of a bigger concern than perhaps necessarily the guarantees are being slightly tweaked towards the end of the week. My view on the online day 1, which is the only time we allow a re-entry, is it just that offers a bit of flexibility to players. Yeah, it's a 1, and it gives players a chance that might not be able to get to the day 1s live to still have a go at doing it, and also they can now be in the money for day 2, so you kind of know you're already making a min cash when you get to the event. So I know already, we've only trialed this at London, but there must have been 5, 6 or 7 players that came up to me and said, I only played this event because there was an online day 1.
Yeah.
Now, to me, that's great. Yeah. It's not aimed at actually giving people with deep pockets the chance to fire multiple bullets at it. It's trying to give people some more flexible options to get to play an APAT event. That's the reasoning behind it. It's not aimed at, we want to get the numbers up, because as everybody knows, we sell out at all of our events anyway. When we're around the country. So that's not the reason for doing it. The reason for doing it is to try and give players more flexibility in when they can play and how they can play, without too much of a detrimental effect to the natural freeze out. And that's where I think we're at. We discussed this, Tom, Des, and myself over the past few months, and we agreed that we don't really want to push it any more than this. Just offering that one little opportunity players is fine. We don't want players to have a chance of playing both the live day ones or re-entering into another day one. Not really interested in that. So hopefully people will get it for what it is, which is trying to just give players a bit more opportunity to play, a bit more flexibility in how they play.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? You'd hope people would see that, but sometimes people like to jump on bandwagons and see the worst when you two have done pretty much the best you can for APAT, like from the start, and you think that it'd build a little bit of a, like credit in the meantime.
Yeah, but as we say, and I said in the post that I made is we would be nothing. We wouldn't be where we are today if we didn't have APAT members giving feedback and us listening to that feedback and going, right, are we in the right direction, or have we got this slightly wrong in what we're doing and how we're going about it? If it was pretty much a dictatorship of, well, this is what we're doing, and nobody ever told us anything, we wouldn't be where we are today, because along the way you do make, not mistakes, but you do make, decisions that you go, well, actually that didn't really work, and it didn't work because we got told it didn't work and people didn't like it. So we changed, we changed tact on what we do. So it's important to have these discussions. And as I said in my post as well, I think it was replying back to Danny, is there's plenty of poker organizers that would do this kind of stuff. They just do the change and wouldn't even tell you. Yeah. They just get on with it. I mean, I've seen stories over from Vegas this week, players that are saying, we're nearly in the money in an event and we don't even know what the payouts are and things like this and all this kind of stuff going on. And that's the biggest series in the world. So yeah.
Okay, a little bit of chat box action for you, Leigh. I'm going to start with this one where this is from Dan Williams. I'm only playing due to your online day one. Technically, I could fire another day one on SAT when I arrive at TTD, but I won't. Wayne Parker comes in with, I think of myself as old school, but things move on. Freeze out, rebuy, online, live. It's all poker. One Mr. Chris Webber. Leigh, can you please confirm, and forgive me as I got here late, but can you play online once, bust, and then re-enter once live, but cannot re-enter more than twice total? Why
Correct.
Don't you take that?
Yeah, that is that, as Chris has described it there, that is exactly the situation. So the only caveat I'd put on that, just to make it is very, very clear, you cannot play both of the live day ones. You can only play one of the live day ones, but you can, if you've already played the online day one, that you're still entitled to play one of the live day ones. So it isn't a case if you can re-enter twice across the three and play both live day ones. No, you can only play one of the live day ones, but that's irrelevant whether you've played the online one, yes or no. So
yeah,
basically.
Dan's got an interesting one here that I would describe as a first world problem. Okay, take this. I've sold a package for the series based on the information I had on the events. I'm now here with two options: ask backers to find an extra bullet, or continue as planned and play it as a freeze out now in a disadvantaged position. So I would call that a first world problem. I don't think that is too much of an issue if I'm being
no, it is a fair comment. I mean, I'm certainly not, you wouldn't turn around and go, well, that's not it is a fair situation. And there are players that if they know they've got one re-entry and are happy to fire two bullets at a comp, will treat the first bullet differently on how they would choose to play it.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's changed after a package has been agreed, or he's sold a package. Yeah. It's a fair problem to have to deal with. Yeah.
Partially, Leigh, I'm calling it a first world problem because if you look at GG Poker, I mean, recently they had a series that had millions in guarantees, and they were changing it every day. So this isn't the first time a guarantee has changed online, and guarantees have changed at enormous.
Yeah, but I think Dan's comment. I don't think Dan's got an issue with the guarantees.
But how many players? How many players within that GG series will have had staking and tons of them, right?
It's like Billy Johnson said in the chat about the online day one. Well, the online day one was, the comment was, he said, well, I'd already satellited in. If I'd have known I could win a second ticket to try to effectively have two bullets, I'd have played a few more of the satellites this week. I guess it's okay. It's not going to please everybody. Yeah, it is what it is. What we should just say is Georgia Dave is no more. Bust in fifth place.
Right, end the show.
Probably makes our comms a little bit easier for the rest of this show, but at the same time, unfortunately departed ace jack into the pocket aces of was it Oscar? I think it was,
yeah,
the Argentinian player. Yeah, I think
Oscar.
it was. Yeah,
it was indeed Oscar.
Oh, brilliant! Whoever brought that, who was that from? Adam. Oh, well done, Adam. Thank you very much.
Little blast from the past here. It's one Gaz Howard. Not what's up, boys? Good to hear from you, Gaz. Hope you're well, my friend.
Gaz, looking well, and we will see Gaz next week as he is repping England in the team event next week. So,
it's always nice to have a charity pick, Paul. Well done, by the way. It's always nice to have a charity pick in your team, so well done. I like that.
I started out trying not to pick my mates, and here we are.
So listen, Paul, you've been waiting for this event now for what feels like 4 to 5 years.
10 years, 10 to 15
10 to 15. I mean, you'd get less for murder, probably.
I actually don't want it to go ahead, because I've been using that unbeaten joke for 2.5 years
for quite some time. And we all know. We all know it's going to go soon, Paul, right? You're going to lose the unbeaten run. It's unlikely that you're going to win, right?
Oh, thanks. Cheers, Des. That's
well, I'm Irish. I get to say that.
Glowing endorsement.
But come on, fight me. Tell me, how is it feeling now that it's so close?
It's super exciting. It's it's been a long time coming, and I can't wait. We've got our plan sorted. We know who's playing what, at least initially. We know what plan B is. Got all of that sorted. I'm looking at the other teams, and obviously there's good players there, but there's none that I would say are stronger than us overall. So yeah, bring it on.
Give you a bit of excitement, Paul. I spent yesterday, for those that are obviously in the know, up north getting my car serviced, and I used the time whilst I was sat in the coffee shop waiting for my car to be serviced. I did the full seat draw for the team event.
Oh, hello.
So every country has been drawn on their tables. The heads up matches has been drawn, so you'll know which countries you're playing heads up against.
You've done it by country. Have you done it by individual?
I've done it by country. I'm waiting for Tom just to confirm to me who's playing what.
There's only 9 teams, so knowing which countries are on each table is not that hard.
No, that's the easy bit. The heads up one was a bit more tricky, but every then table needs to be randomly drawn, so that countries are all randomly just. That's all done. So all I need to do now is drop in the player names that Tom will tell me. But so I could tell you who England are playing in their 4 heads up games, but it probably wouldn't be fair to let you know that at the moment. So.
Yeah, okay. And if I know who's playing the PLO, for example, you'll know who's at me +1 or what country is at me +1.
But I'd say that's the bit I haven't had yet from Tom. Yeah. So the way we work it is I do all of the seat draw spreadsheet and everything without knowing the player order. So that's all done, and then that gets dropped in afterwards. So basically, there's no, so it's as random as you can possibly get. So.
Fantastic. Listen, Adam Sharples has come in with a great idea. He's saying find 4 random players for a Republic of Wales team. I love it. Let's have 2 Welsh teams in there. Let's have a Republic of Wales team.
Yeah.
I like that.
Everyone's playing for bronze. That's
indeed. We have another question from Chris Webber. He of the jangly medals in the car seat pocket. Chris says, a final question from me. Can you please confirm what blind level oh, bloody hell, I've lost my ability to talk. What blind level day 2 live will start from? I see online is playing down to 15%, so potentially blinds may have to roll forward or back when converting online stack to live. Well, you've got that answer, Leigh, right?
Yeah, so all the it's not just the online day 1, all of the day 1s will play down to 15% of the field. That's how it will work, and then we will roll back to the earliest level, which I think, but I also think Tom also puts a little thing in there which ensures that I think it's at least 32 big blinds. He's got a number where it's at least the average stack is at least that number of big blinds as well. So it's to make sure that there is plenty of play in there. But yeah, it will roll back to the earliest, effectively the earliest finish as it works. So we trialed this in our London event, which had 429 runners, I think it was, across 1 online and two live day 1s, and it was a beautiful thing. It worked really, really well. So we're really confident that this is going to work right. But
there's some chat last night when they were about whether players in the online day 1 would be at a disadvantage because they don't know what level you're playing down to, but nobody else does either, do they? And
no, exactly. Well, that was the point I was trying to make, is it doesn't really, you don't know, because you don't know how it'll go. I think we had a difference of maybe about a level and a half, I think it was in the end, across the 3 in total. And you certainly had a situation where the last day one went on a little bit longer, but we were playing hand for hand across, was it 4 tables, Des, or 5 tables in the end on that final day, I think, at London? I'm trying to think, was it 1, 2, 3, 4? At least 4. It was at least 4.
Was it at least 4? And pleasingly, there were a
it's
couple of...
It's the same at most of them. I played the Grand Prix at Dust Till Dawn a few weeks ago, and after, I think, 3 of the 4 day ones, I asked what level we were starting back at, and they said anything between 15 and 18. Which obviously makes a massive difference. I think to my stack, it made a difference between like 30 and 60 bigs. So no one's any the wiser than anyone else.
Yeah, I think we were down to 4 or 5 tables. Pleasingly, there were a couple of the online qualifiers. There were several of the online qualifiers among them. So that was sort of pleasing. That just proved that that was workable. Some other comments from the chat box. Of course, Adam was referring to a rest of the world team. That'd be interesting. I mean, it would be interesting, wouldn't it?
To be honest, I've never really thought about it, but actually now the minute you've mentioned it, I've kind of gone, well, yeah, why couldn't we've got 4 players that want to play that aren't in other countries that we're already being represented. So why not give them a chance to put a team together? Not a bad idea.
I mean, I'm sure Craig McKinnis and Ian Thompson have got other countries to pretend to be from.
The rest of the world team is just Craig.
Yeah,
just Craig and Kath. That'll be it.
So
there you go. So Matthias, Betty is there again. We've seen Matthias several times. He said, "Good evening, guys. Watching this every day. Really good job you're doing there. I think you've been very generous with that comment, I have to say. But thank you, Matthias. So we get who's this coming from? So Dan Williams, by the way, says I can rep Greece. I'm not sure. He's getting away with
the
that.
musical.
I mean, quite possibly. He's got the hair, hasn't he? Gaz says, not that it matters to me, but do you have a rough estimate finish time for main event? Well, I wouldn't be willing to take the over on you beyond 3 p.m. Gaz, just personally. I don't know if we have an answer to that. Leigh.
Not an easy answer. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking somewhere in the region of 9 hours place. I'm guessing around maybe about 12, 1 o'clock. I'm thinking something like that.
Oh, Leigh, we've got an offer, right? It's been a tough day. Day. We've drained away a lot of cash today, I feel, but we do have an offer. So it's coming in from Matthias. He was really setting us up for a question. I have a question. Got second in the last weekly leaderboard on step 5. Is it possible to get a WCOAP main event ticket instead? You would save $1. I like it.
So what I should say, so Matthias is on party. He's Matthias Detters, from Germany.
Okay,
regular. The simple answer to that is no.
What?
And the reason it's a no is because I've already requested him tournament dollars for this week because of that exact situation. So then he's got full flexibility to use them. So he's got T dollars on his heading into his account.
So is that a yes
week.
Then, really?
So technically, and not even that we save $1, he's going to get the full 110. So yeah.
Good stuff.
Enjoy it,
Matthias.
Already been requested. Hopefully should be in his account. In the next day or so.
Can I get one of those as well, please?
Yeah, of course you can, Des. Yeah, not a problem.
Can I?
Yeah. Have you got a Party Poker account?
Yeah, I'm APAT Des. Can't miss me. Cannot miss me. Just don't get a lot of action, though. Don't get a lot of action. People just feel sorry for me. So what else have we got here?
So Matthias is a step 5er. He's been regularly
good player,
pushing the leaderboard ladders over the last few months. So absolutely superb. Yeah.
So Gaz says,
there you go. Matthias says, I'll take the $1 for a beer to start the tournament. Oh, this is our type of guy, definitely.
He'll do well to get a beer at DTD for $1, I have to say.
Yeah, or anywhere for $1, anywhere, to be honest.
Indeed, anywhere. Mr. Alston says, I've been living in England now for 4 years. Do I qualify to play in the rest of the world team? I'm guessing that's what he's asking.
Yeah, you should be. We should just also give a quick mention to say that Ruslan from Ukraine has finished in 6th place. Picking up we $868 plus 484 in bounties as well. So that's quite smart. That's over $1,300 for a finish there. And now all of these 5 remaining are guaranteed a minimum cash of $1,110 plus the bounties that they've already accumulated. Poor Conrado from Brazil still there with just $43.75 worth of bounties on this final table. But of course, the important thing is if you can actually get a bit of a stack here, there's some huge bounties to attack. If he could only get above that 11 bigs, they're all dropping down. Mikel has really built a stack here, 127 big blinds now. Oscar's got 71. The other 3 in a bit of trouble here, guys. Yeah.
Fair to say that our friend Oscar is running okay as well. That last exit, he had deuce 5 and filled up with that. He knocked the previous guy out aces against ace jack. So there's a bit of momentum with Oscar.
I'll tell you, Leigh, it concerns me that we've allowed this final table to sort of drain down to 5 players. We haven't got long left. I think it's time that we start the stew questioning.
Sorry, John simply Conrado is the new Graham from last night. Yeah. That could well be the case. Yeah.
What's it, slug? Are we back in slugland?
Slugland. Do they have slugs in Brazil?
I wouldn't have thought so. If they were, they're going to be samba slugs, right? They're going to be slugging around like that. I like that. I like that.
Wizardo instead, are we?
Yeah. It would be Grahamino, I think is what we're looking for there. Stu, how was it? Where's the sunburn? Come on, where's the sunburn?
Yeah, right. I stepped out of that casinos into the street at least 3 times, and it was the worst experience of my life.
It was very hot
being
over there,
so
right?
warm. Yeah, it was like 40-odd degrees every day. It was just sweltering. I walked from Harrods to the Bellagio once, and that was a trek. Felt like a workout. But yeah, it was a really good week with like some fantastic people, which was nice. Obviously, got back yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah.
After traveling, after being away for something like 30 hours. So yeah, it was getting back was an experience.
Well, look, let's start at the start and we'll go from there. So flight's over okay. When did you arrive? What day did you arrive on?
Good question. I think we arrived on
last Tuesday.
Yeah, we flew.
Tuesday.
He hasn't a clue, has he, Leigh? He's completely out of it.
It was 9 days. It was 9 days ago, and he's been in Vegas for 7 of them days. You're asking ridiculous questions.
To be honest, that's my type of maths as far as Vegas is concerned. It was 9 days ago, and he was in Vegas for 7, but he's just arrived back today. That sounds about right for me. So, Stu, did you get in on an evening flight? Presumably.
We flew from Newcastle to London, and then London to Vegas on the Tuesday. We got in about 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock Vegas time.
Right, so you got to do that thing of staying up, right? You're knackered, but you got to stay up. Any problems there? You managed?
We were right. We went down the bar and had a few beers. We were served till about 12:30, I think it was.
So who were you with? Who were you with on day one?
Day one's just my brother, and then Karen Mead and Suzanne Gleason were there as well.
Super.
So we had a few. We had a few beers at the bar, chatted some rubbish, and went to bed. I got a sensible night on day one, and then it kind of went south after that.
Did you play any poker over there?
Not a single bit, unless you count the ultimate poker table game.
That counts. That
good
counts.
To hear.
That's a skill game. Yeah, absolutely.
No, it felt like when I was trying to learn the rules and getting shouted at by the miserable ass dealer who was doing it.
To be honest, a poker player going to Vegas and not playing poker, it feels more like a cultural trip. So I'm glad to hear you say that. Did you get downtown much, or did you?
Went down. Well, Phil TC was staying downtown, for the first 5 days he was there with his fantastic wife Lily. They were staying in the Circa, the new one down there.
Oh, okay.
Right. Oh, beautiful hotel.
Did you go? Did you go in the stadium swim bit?
Well, Phil did. Lily's a fan of going to the pool every day. So Phil spent every morning down there, and apparently he was really happy because it was like 40-odd degrees.
He sat under his towel.
There was no big umbrellas or anything because it blocked the view of the sports book apparently. So you just sit in the sun and cook to death.
Yeah. No, I saw two pictures of him from over there. One he was sat under his towel, right? Literally, the towel was just draped over him. He looked like a nun from the 1950s. And the second one, he looked like a lobster. Yeah,
he was definitely a very, very, very red man. He was glowing more than his personality does usually. So
just need to shout out, we have hit the medals.
Bloody hell.
We've just lost Pedro against Care against ace 8. So we're now down to 3. 43 bigs for Kev, wow. 45 bigs for Oscar, and Mikkel's a big chip leader on 151 bigs.
The APAT show block is very much intact, by the way. Like literally 5 seconds after we talk about the Wizardo bust, gone.
Wow, that happened really, really quickly. So, Stu, look, let's get to the crescendo, right? No poker. Any shows, anything like that? Did you spend any money sensibly, or?
Technically, we went to a show. We went to see Slipknot at the MGM Garden.
Okay.
On the Friday, which that was the last minute thing. We've been looking at tickets for a while, and they were like $200, which was expensive.
Yeah.
We were sat in Casino Royale, like the classy people we are, drinking their very, very cheap like Captain Morgans and Cokes. And my brother looked at his phone for tickets, and they were down to $80 a ticket. So we snapped them up on the day. And so we went down there and went to see Cypress Hill supporting Slipknot.
Oh wow!
It was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. It ruined us, like, because we've been drinking all day as well. And so we pop out of the MGM Garden like about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and Phil and Leigh were downtown waiting for us. So we pop out there. That's Friday night on the Strip. So we pop out of the MGM Garden, and there is just people everywhere. So you can't get a taxi from there. Yeah. You're like, we'll walk down a couple of hotels and try and get a taxi from there. And literally, we ended up walking from the MGM back to Harrah's.
Bloody
which
hell.
is about a 2.5 mile walk.
Yeah,
after,
it's going to be bloody hot as well, isn't it?
Gig,
even at that hour of night.
So we got back to the hotel and ended up getting like a few slices of pizza, a burger, and going to bed and messaging Phil apologising basically because we were in no state to go downtown that night. That was a hell of a gig.
Oscar gets a double up with Queens there. Mikkel was on a hearts flush draw and a missed, so has doubled up Oscar, which is evened them up a little bit.
Yeah, Cypress Hill was an experience, though.
Cypress Hill was the first band I ever saw live.
Was it?
Cypress Hill, House of Pain, and Funk Dubious.
They were. You know what they're like? They're just awesome live. We were stood like literally there's like police inside the gig, and we were stood next to 6 of Vegas' finest, and they got everyone in the crowd to stick the middle finger and shout "fuck the police," basically.
Nice.
Which was an idea. I was kind of stood there. I was like, well, I've had a lot of rum, and this is risky, but we'll go for it. And luckily, they laughed along and started swearing at each other, which was good. It was good because we were stood there like halfway. It was between Cypress Hill and Slipknot, and then some young rogue from the area basically was getting chased around the floor bit where we were stood by a rather portly security guard who was looking a bit fed up. And then all of a sudden, the police just like jumped on him. It was absolute carnage. It was like 3 people ended up getting arrested for what we don't know why what happened, but yeah. Well, the police went from being like really nice and smiley to having like bloody like sticks out and all sorts. It was absolute bedlam.
Well, look on the bright side, Stu. At least with an indoor gig, there's going to be fewer chances of a shooter coming and taking you on from about 3 kilometers away. So, just look on the bright side, my friend.
That's a cheery thought.
No, but Des, you say this, right? But one of the days we went downtown, I think it was like the second last night we were there, someone got shot on Fremont Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was a death on Fremont Street. We were in that was the Golden Nugget. We were at El Cortez, if anyone knows where that is.
Oh my God.
Right at the end of Fremont Street, because that's where we met some people. But yeah, it was that was scary because it was like 2 a.m. We didn't even realize until we got back to the hotel. We got like an Uber back to the hotel, and it was just
yeah. Well, still, hey, Second Amendment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I want guns everywhere. Let's have lots and lots of guns. Adam,
you don't even realize like that people are carrying them around down there. It's
talking about U.S. amendments. Are they allowing you Ubers in Las Vegas now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They also allow a lot of marijuana apparently because it's like honestly, it smells like they're pumping it through the aircon.
The whole city apparently. And
honestly, it's all you can smell. Up the strip, down the strip, on Fremont Street, all you can smell is marijuana. Oh my God!
Place. Well, I tell you what, if the guns didn't turn you off, I mean, if that's all you're smelling up and down Fremont Street, that would turn me off. I have to say
it's not the greatest, to be honest with you. It's a lot different from like last time we kind of went there.
Yeah, I'm not a smoker. I would imagine if you're consuming it, the smell is quite different to just being around it or walking around it. Anyhow, Adam was talking about the heat, Las Vegas in June, har. And he does go on to say that, that was some walk you made, even late at night. Must have been damn hot. And then we had a technical question, Leigh. Going to throw this one to you. It's from JP. If you've already regged... Where's it gone? It's moved. For one of the live day ones, can you play the online day one without unregistering?
Yeah, I just answered in the thread. Yes.
Oh, well done, Leigh. Thank you.
Yeah, basically the online day one is not linked to the holding tanks on Party Poker or any other way you might have bought into those as well. So you're quite comfortable to play that online day one. I've just been actually replying to Chris Webber. He's asked some really good questions, and maybe it's not been completely clear. So I'll just, if I can just on the show, just explain what I've just said to Chris regarding the day one. So the online day one, you can forfeit your stack in the online day one. So say you make the online day one and you end up at the end of the day, it finishes with 15% of the field and it's like you got 5 bigs. You can choose to forfeit that and just play one of the live day ones. It's not a problem. But by doing that, by playing one of the live day ones and you forfeiting that stack doesn't go through to a day 2. So you therefore don't min cash. So we only pay the cashes once you've got a day 2 stack. So basically you can't cash more than once in this comp. That's how we process this. So if you get through the online day one, say you get to the end of it and you're desperately trying to build your stack and you can't, and you've got 5 bigs and you're like, well, I don't want to take 5 bigs through to day 2. I'd rather have another go and play a live day one. You can do that. That's not a problem whatsoever, but you will not get a min cash at that point because technically that stack will then be dead and it won't be into day 2. And we only pay the cashes from a live day 2 stack at the start of the day 2. Okay.
And will the holding tank for the live day one still be open at the end of the online?
Yes, it does. It doesn't close until the Monday night. And you can, if you necessary, you can also buy in via Luxon Pay until the day before the live day ones. And of course, you've all got the option of buying in at the cash desk at dusk till dawn on the day if you need to as well.
I was thinking more about unregistering than registering.
Yeah. So if you need to unregister, that holding tank is still open until the Monday night. So you'll know by then where you stand after playing the online one.
So I mean, to answer JP's question, surely it's just yes, you can. You don't have to unregister your live day one before you.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you bust your online day one.
Yeah, no. If you've already secured your live day one you want to play, that's good as gold. That's there. That can't take that away from you. You've got that plus your bus fare home. That can't be touched. All right, that's not a problem. And then you can play the gamble, and you've got the time it takes for the board to revolve. But basically, you can play your gamble on the online day one. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Did I get enough 70s?
Clear as day.
70s quiz game.
It was just bullseye. It was just one game.
Just one game. Was that all I felt? It felt more than that. Okay.
Listen, our adversary from last night, Leigh, gave us a hard time last night. Simon Brooke is back. Keep it light, Des. FFS. I think.
To be fair, you
Second Amendment.
To be fair, you started talking about shootings at
it was early in the show.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, like
it was early in the show.
Even I went, "Come on, Des." I mean, like.
But listen, Leigh, it didn't stop him last night. I mean, I was talking about my dear departed mom and the letters that she would send me and stuff like that. He gave us a really hard time last night, Leigh. Do you remember this? Let me play this very briefly. Just watch Leigh here, right? Oh, bloody hell, will it work?
How quickly did she set fire to them?
It was, they still exist. I think they might still be upstairs in this house.
Oh, wow.
Well, you don't throw out your mother's letters, right? Just watch Leigh. Unfortunately, all the other letters, they were just all put
in there together as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's quite interesting. I think this works both ways as well. I'm very similar.
Bastard Brooke, did you see what he just wrote? Did you see what he just wrote? Did you see what he just wrote? The absolute tit. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Can we ban him? Do we have a ban stick, Leigh? I reckon he's at us both tonight. He's at us both.
Oh my God,
seriously, Simon Brooke, you are just the best.
How many APATers actually wrote to Jim will fix it? I certainly did.
I did.
Did you?
Can I just say I didn't? There you go. Just for clarity, Brooke did have us both over last night, Leigh, I felt.
Oh, we need to get him back on the show, definitely.
Absolutely. Value.
Absolutely. So just confirming, Wayne Parker asking, when does the holding tanks close? No, they close on the Monday night before. So basically next Monday, I think all of the holding tanks in Party Poker close. Then you've got the option of either Luxon Pay or Dusk Till Dawn cash desk.
Fantastic. So Stu, hello. What was your best moment over there then? Did you do any sports? I go to any sports events? Was there anything on or?
We went to Top Golf.
Okay.
No,
I'm not entirely sure, but
The only thing basically all that was on was the bloody Stanley Cup, and we watched the end of the what you call it, the NBA finals. But it's basketball, and I don't really care. Sorry, Natalie. Well, go Golden State, yeah.
That's it, Golden State, the tall lads, right?
So basically, all you did, all it means I saw Steph Curry's face for about 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
And then so there's obviously the ice hockey was on the Stanley Cup final, which is like again ice hockey, man. And then there was baseball on, which is just like shit cricket, basically. So
you can't say that about baseball. Come on, Stu.
Wow.
Come on, Stu. Baseball's
garbage.
quality.
We watched one game, right? And
bottom of the ninth.
It was the bottom of the ninth, and it was 0-0.
Yeah, okay,
what have you been doing? Just twat the ball.
Come on, you're a Borough fan. You must have seen that a few times, eh?
Cricket is what baseball will eventually evolve into.
What is more as a worldwide sport? Which is more popular, baseball or cricket? Or which is played
easily.
more?
Cricket.
Cricket
In India.
What, you think cricket's played more than baseball?
Oh, hell yes.
100%.
Well, 300 million watch it in India.
Cricket's played by more people in India than baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
There's 2 people. There's like 2
Australia.
2 billion people in India, and about 6 billion people play it in India. It's absolute crazy over there.
It is huge. It is huge.
Yeah, so we went to Topgolf, which it's basically like a driving range with like 4 different floors, about 1 million bays. You've got bars, like little, like it's all like computerized. So you can play little games. We played Angry Birds in a golf driving range.
And by the way, if Stu's an experienced top golfer, we're getting him in the APAT show foot golf team or whatever it is that we're playing against Gotham.
Yeah. We're in
You're playing foot golf against Gotham. That must be the easiest win I've seen in my entire life. Have you seen that?
No. It's mini golf. Stu.
Oh, mini golf.
Yeah.
I've never played a game of sports.
When do you get to Nottingham next week?
I don't know. Yeah, it depends on work, basically.
Okay. Well, we'll need you in the team, I think. So
$5,000 a hole, if that's all right, Stu.
Yeah,
easy against them. Like easy. They've never played a day of sport in their life. Look at them.
The discussions today were whether we were going to play singles, 4 balls, or foursomes. Mr. Brooke had to go and Google 2 of those before he gave an answer. So
definitely foot golf.
Apparently, genuinely, I mention it again because I wasn't convinced about this, but having seen some of the comments today in the Team Gotham chat, Ian Witt is a professional mini golfer. It's 100%.
If we can get a format that minimizes his skill level, then
100% he is definitely. Quick response to Gareth Howard, who just threw in an absolute curveball of a question about is the counties coming back? It is in a similar type of format. Hopefully towards the end of the year. Tom's got things pretty much kind of agreed now, venue and stuff wise. So the plan will be we've got, actually, I said this on the show a couple of nights ago. We've got hopefully 3 more events in the UK, a couple of events overseas to announce for the kind of the autumn run of APAT. So we're looking forward to be able to get that info.
I'm actually wearing my county's top today, actually. My APAT county's top.
It's good.
Excellent, timing. Very nice indeed.
Love the way it coordinates with your curtains there.
Exactly, that's what it's all about, you know what I mean?
I would have thought so. You've got a question coming in here. Living in Reading, this is coming from JP. I'm in a few chat groups with Reading FC fans. Has Stu stopped laughing about their new signing yet?
No, they've signed literally the worst goalkeeper I've seen in my entire life. I'm sure we talked about Joe Lumley last time.
We did indeed.
Yeah, he's shit. And we flogged off on loan for a season, like for last year of his contract at Reading. I'm not sure how much we're paying them.
You've replaced him with a former Walsall goalkeeper, Stu?
Hey, he's going to be our second choice. Rumour has it we're signing Carl Darlow from Newcastle.
Another former Walsall goalkeeper?
Right there. Well, you've got a production line of top quality goalkeepers, mate.
Yeah, who work out that they're much better than
the Walsall
than us. Yeah.
Yeah, we're quite excited about our transfer dealings. So we've just signed a lad on loan from Wolves, left back, who's very decent. Ryan Giles, who's meant to be very good. So yeah, we're hopeful. We've got a few bids. Basically, we need to sell Jed Spence, and then it's all going to fall into place. So
he's still talking about Jed Spence.
Yeah. So I'm getting a bit worried about this whole golf thing. So if we play mini golf, Ian Witt seems pretty good. So there is a foot golf course down by the university, but it's only open at the weekend. So we'd have to play that either the Saturday morning or the Sunday morning. But then Chris Webber's in the chat going foot golf. Yeah, I'm deaf up for that. So I'm thinking, well, so he sounds a bit handy.
He's a pro.
He sounds a bit handy, doesn't he? At that as well. So I don't know if we.
Chris Webber is nothing a 2-footed tackle won't sort out, Leigh. Don't worry about it.
Do you reckon? Really? Are you allowed to do 2-footed tackles in foot golf?
There's no rules. I mean, there's no referee, is there? So just go for it. Snap him.
Leave one in on him early doors. We'll be fine.
Exactly. Let him know you're there, mate. Let him know you're there. Yeah.
Chris, you've been warned. Yeah, so that's the plan. So that is the idea. Is we're going to try and get a APAT show team up against a Team Gotham team in some sort of golfing format on some day whilst up in Nottingham. Haven't worked any more at that, but we'll get some details out if anybody else wants to come along for a laugh for a couple of hours and join in the fun. There are a number of mini golf places in Nottingham, and one is called Glory Holes, as we mentioned the other night.
Yeah.
So does it get any better than that? Probably not. As Chris says, an early reducer, as it's called. Yeah.
But the top of Vegas, you managed to miss out the whole traveling back experience.
Well, we haven't got there yet, so we're okay because players are on a 5-minute break. We've still got 3 players left, so let me just quickly update where we are stack wise. Kerr's got 30 bigs at the moment. Oscar is there with 80 bigs, and Mikkel has now 93 bigs. So still loads of play and anyone's game as to who's going to pick up the medals here. But players are on a break. I should just give a shout out, not mentioned it yet, so let's do that now. 2 more events started at 8:05 tonight. That's event number 7, which is the Mixed Match Knockout. It's got a whopping 25,000 guarantee in that one. It's a 2-day event. It's currently got 340 runners in that at the moment. Late reg for another 18 minutes or so. So plus with a break, it'd be about 10:15 on that one. So if you want to get into that one, you still got time to do that. The PLO is event number 8. That's got a 7,500 guarantee on it. It's currently got 118 runners in that as well. That's another 2-dayer as well. So I think that's playing down to level 21 tonight. Yeah, so that one's playing to level 21. Mixed Max will play to level 26, I'd imagine. Yes, it does. So Mixed Max will play till about 1 o'clock tonight. PLO will play till about 12:15 tonight if you want to get into either of those. And then we'll be covering both of those events here tomorrow night on the show, where we will have JP and Tom Bacon as guests on tomorrow night.
That'll be good.
JP can be asked turning up, can he? That's nice of him.
Yeah, he's looking. To be fair to him, I put the message out in the show group and said, what days could you do? JP came back and said what days he could do. I then booked him in for 2 days he couldn't do because I can't read.
That's a solid tactic, though. That you don't want JP on the show. Oh, sorry, you can't do them days. Oh.
So when then correcting him for the 2 days that he could do, that's all fine, and he's been booked in. Somebody else, then buggered off to Vegas for 7 days.
Yeah.
And then
that's Natalie, isn't it?
And then who's then just got in contact when I said, only could message a day to say, are you back in the country, Stu? And are you available for the show tonight? To which you just went yes and yes. So that was all good as well.
Well, Stu has been coming on the show for a long time. Stu, we were doing a bit of memory stuff earlier on today. Do you remember this? Do you remember this glorious old moment? See if you remember this. Listen, JP has said Luke Cowan-Dickey. Do we know Luke Cowan-Dickey? He was once the world number 1 in Call of Duty. Never heard of him.
That is massively impressive because that game is played.
Yeah, it's huge.
By millions of players. I made the top 10,000 in the world, and I thought I was
10,000.
Good. So
no, that is very impressive.
Kai said he was stood almost within distance of putting the dart in. Surely
it's like a stabbing motion.
This hand just appears. Okay, obviously it's happened. So I'm gonna have to go. There must be footage of it. So
I've still missed.
Listen, guys, we have. I've got a comment here from Stephen 40. Stephen has joined us after an absence of about 10 years. So he's playing his first event tonight since season 1. So welcome, Stephen. And unfortunately, he's going to join us with a bit of a bad beat story. So let me set this up for you. I played in the MTT tonight. What a wild MTT. Second hand of the MTT, watched a pair of 2s versus 4 overcards on the flop and turn. Get all 100,000 chips in on the flop. Oh my god! The 2s got beat by Jack 9 with a pair of 9s. Stephen, welcome back to APAT, my friend. I hope that we see you tomorrow night. We've got another tourney tomorrow night. We'll do it all again.
Obviously that's how we treat bad beats on this show.
Oh, God. I'm actually crying. That is fantastic.
2 years in, guys. Crikey, isn't the time moving?
So
that was funny, right?
So the darts discussion, right, if you remember, was about the fact during lockdown they were playing darts tournaments.
That's right.
Via Zoom.
From their homes.
So they were setting up their own dartboard at home individually and then playing. And there's this great footage of somebody, hitting a bullseye, but literally the hand, it just literally hits the board. How was that even possibly allowed? Webb was back in the chat and says he's fairly confident he could outpace Stu Ward.
Not with your legs snap, you couldn't, mate.
Not with a splint.
What was it Gimli said? I'm a dwarf. We're lethal over very short distances, mate. I once played football against, we're playing 5 with my brother, and obviously my brother's slightly different to me. He's like an athlete. And he was stood in front of me with the ball. And I looked at him, I was like, you go past or the ball goes past, but you aren't going past together. So he giggled to himself and punted the ball past me, and then wondered what happened when he basically had to pick up the bits of his body after a clothesline him. There's ways and means of dealing with these little skinny show ponies.
So whilst these three are playing out here, Stu, tell us the journey home story. 30 hours.
What?
So what happened?
So we were on the way there. We flew from Newcastle to London on the night before, stayed over there, and then flew from London to Vegas direct. Yeah.
Yeah.
The way back, we couldn't book a direct flight. We had to go from Vegas to LAX, LAX to London, London to Newcastle. Bit of a mess about. Right, so we get to LAX, it's fine. So we get to Vegas, all well and good. Get Delta, lovely airline, straight over to LAX.
That's about an hour, isn't it? Roughly. Yeah, about an hour and a quarter. Yeah.
We get to LAX. It's we get there. It's fine. We turn up. We get a bus straight to the gate. Our luggage is already on getting sent over the plane, the Virgin plane, to come back over to London. We get to the gate. It says on time. We look at it. It's fine. That's great. Then it says underneath new departure time 6:45. I was like, well, that's 45 minutes later than it's meant to be. It's not on time, is it? But no, apparently that was on time. So we start boarding at about 7 o'clock. So we're already running about an hour behind. When we get to Newcastle, when we get to London, we got a 2.5 hour window to catch our plane up to Newcastle. So basically, we get on the plane anyway, fly from Vegas, from LAX to London. Get there probably with about, if we can get through security and get our baggage and get over to Terminal 5, we can make the flight in Newcastle. Yeah, there was an hour wait for the baggage. So the flight back up to Newcastle, where our car was obviously out of the window. So we've basically missed that flight. So my brother gets on the phone to British Airways who we're with, and they're like, "Oh, well, we can put you on a flight to Manchester." Well, that's really helpful considering the car's in Newcastle. So we turn on. Like, well, in that case, you can just stay over, and we'll put you on the flight in the 7:15 in the morning. We're like, well, again, can't be arsed with that because it's going to we just basically at this point all you want to do is get home. So we end up basically having to get a train, get a train and a tube from Heathrow to King's Cross, buy a ticket from King's Cross to Newcastle Central station, then get the metro from Newcastle to the airport to pick the car up to drive the hour back down south to the house. And like I say, we're going for about 30 hours by the time it.
Bloody hell! I'd have kept in London, mate.
I couldn't be bothered. It was that'll be another £100 in hotels, and then whatever they were going to.
That's not the couldn't be bothered option. The couldn't be bothered option is what you did. How couldn't be?
Weren't somebody responsible for the fact that you were late and stuff? I mean, would they not?
Oh, we are going to hold Virgin responsible for that. But I think it's just LAX is just a shit airport because when Phil TC flew out, his flight was he flew from Heathrow. He went with BA from Heathrow to LAX and then LAX to Las Vegas, and he was about 3 hours late because LAX just decided to delay the plane and move him around and stuff.
Was his private jet in for a service or something, or what was the?
It must have been.
Yeah.
Lily wasn't happy.
No, I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah.
They're staying at the Waldorf on Vegas for the last 3 nights. I think he flies back tomorrow. I think
is the Waldorf at the Resorts World.
The Waldorf, no, it's the one that's right next to Aria.
Yeah,
the Waldorf Astoria. Put it this way, he paid £100 for breakfast the other day. £100 for breakfast. Yeah, they had like 3 eggs, and it cost him about apparently 3 eggs cost him like $30 for his on his breakfast. He got avocado and toast.
Like the Waldorf Astoria is, it's a nice hotel.
I know people for that bloody money.
That seems rather. I mean, I stayed at the Waldorf Astoria in Dubai on the Palm, and it wasn't that expensive.
Oh no, but it apparently is over there.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he got.
Oh, it was very nice. Don't get me wrong; it was very nice, but it wasn't. I didn't feel like I was being, completely fleeced for breakfast.
No, yeah, sure. We say you enjoyed meeting up with Phil and just laughing at him every morning. Well, every afternoon after he'd spent every morning in the pool, being absolutely burnt to bits.
That was interesting. Sorry. Obviously, I was going to say, did you see? So Jack Grealish was over in Vegas this week. Did you bump into Jack?
We didn't. Apparently, he wasn't downtown when we were.
Oh, really? Oh, no,
you didn't see him in El Cortez, no.
No, exactly. I mean, it's weird. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't be there. It cost there was 5 of us in a round, and it was costing us like about $30 for 5 massive Captain Morgans and
he was caught in the pool with a Liverpool player. Did you see that, Des?
Yeah, Andy Robertson.
Indeed. Robbo. Yeah.
Yeah. So interestingly, I think they were at the Cosmo pool.
I hope they didn't spoil it.
Yeah.
I don't really swimming around in football or gravy. I mean, that's not nice.
Well, you would go in the pool, man, Paul, are you? You like a bit of a...
I have a morning swim. When I'm up early enough, I have a morning swim before it gets too hot, and then go and play poker, and then about an hour later, when I'm out of the comp, I go and have another one.
See, we're very similar, because I like to go for a morning beer.
Nice. I've been with you. I've borne witness to your morning beers after about 25 night beers.
Honestly, I mean, I actually managed to jur myself the other day in Vegas. It's basically that's where you get up and you go at the bar because of jet lag at about 6 a.m. You have more than 15 beers before 12 o'clock.
Nice.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the thing is, Jer could handle that. I couldn't. I went back to bed again. No, my brother came downstairs. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm having a few beers." Like, yeah, but it costs like $8.50 a bottle. I was like, "Yeah, but you're on holiday, aren't you?" So.
Dear, oh dear.
Honestly, Vegas felt like it's a lot more expensive than I remember.
Yeah, Simon Lawler isn't having that. I'm telling you, he balks at spending $15 on breakfast in Vegas. There is value to be had if you look hard enough.
I mean, who has breakfast?
Well, I was going to say I don't do breakfast, so I'm quite happy with this. It doesn't bother me at all.
It's just simply a question of when you have it. You might not necessarily have it at breakfast time. But you might end up having it at another time.
We had some great food over there. We went to the Cheesecake Factory a couple of times. I had a lovely filet mignon, perfectly cooked. We went to Hell's Kitchen, which was very good. Very good.
Nice.
Mildly expensive, but very good. Got the steak tartare, which is one of the best I've ever had. And obviously the beef Wellington, because that's one of Ramsey's signature dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go for the scallops and were they burnt or raw?
No, my brother. Phil and Lily had the scallops. My brother had the risotto, and I had the steak tartare. Because I'm classy.
Fantastic.
Steak tartare is brilliant.
Mr. Sharples was not impressed with your trip back. He went, Jesus, that was worse than my travel issues when I went in April. And that was from 1 p.m. GMT on a Monday to 8 p.m. Tuesday, Vegas time. Hopefully Virgin make you right.
Oh, there's going to be complaints for it, and trust me, I'm good at doing these things. People are getting told.
Yeah, I hope so.
It was like I say, when we get off the flight in London. It's like, right, we just get the baggage. And we get there, and it's just like, oh, my brother gets a text saying we're having some baggage issues. Like, oh, it's like
it's just a group of errors. I mean, okay, it's unfortunate that obviously you've got transfers, so you needed to get another flight. Obviously, for most people that are on that flight, okay, if it's an hour delayed and there's a bit of time at the baggage, it's not the end of the world, is it? It's just unfortunate for those that are in transit looking to move on elsewhere. It's very unfortunate.
At that point in time, it's got the point where we're like, look, we don't care. We just want to get home because like we've been traveling for that long. It's like we just wanted to get home. It's like, look, we're just going to get a train and we're going to deal with the consequences later. Because it's like we actually, it's great. The train went past the train tracks at the end of my street. I could see my house.
So frustrating.
As we went an hour and a half north.
Yeah.
To get my brother's car. I was like, why didn't I just get off here?
Billy Johnson's got the right idea. He just says in the chat, breakfast en route to bed after a late one. I mean, that's the way to do it, isn't it?
That is a plan.
I mean, the food over there is different level.
The whole concept of night and day don't really exist in Vegas.
No clocks in Vegas.
Eat food when you're hungry. Well, who even knows whether it's
whatever you fancy at the time.
The Iron Chef Bobby Flay had a burger joint in Harrods, and it was unbelievable. Some of the best food I've had is just cheeseburgers, and they were fantastic. The pizza, on the food court in Harrods, and it was just the best slice of pizza I ever had. It was brilliant, absolutely superb. The food over there is different level.
Fantastic. So you had a good week, Stu.
Yeah, I've developed a mild addiction to spiced rum and Coke because, like you say, it was just the cheapest thing to drink. We were sat playing, the craps machine with everyone sits around the machine and just whack a button and the big dice bounce in the middle. We were sat down there playing that in El Cortez. It's one of the most fun nights. We had some random people who were getting involved, and it was just hilarious. Lily Thompson had she was saying she had a foolproof betting system for craps. She sat down with $50. She walked away with about $600 by betting everything and letting my brother just roll the dice because he couldn't hit 7.
That's
what me and Phil were like. That's what me and Phil were like. We weren't even playing. We were sat there drinking, and we were getting free drinks because the waitress didn't give a shit. They were just getting the tips. So they were like, "Yeah, that's fine. We'll get you drinks as well." Yeah. We just sat there while everyone was shouting and hooping. It was brilliant.
Tell me, Stu, did anyone out there actually understand what you were asking and saying and stuff like that?
Well, we went to the bar in the first time I keep mentioning. We went to El Cortez. We walked over to the bar, and the barman was there. And was like, "Right, can I have two captains and cokes, an amaretto and a Disaronno and Coke, a Disaronno on the rocks." And he's like, yeah. And then basically just puts a load of plastic cups down on the bar and starts lobbing shit in them. I was like, no. We ended up getting 4 free drinks because he just didn't know what he was doing. We didn't want that. I was like, "Oh, take it anyway. You're fine." It's just absolutely brilliant.
That sounds like a plan. Okay.
I know.
Just need to give a very quick shout out because we're into the last level of late reg for both of the event number 7, event number 8. So if you want to get into those, there's going to be, I shouldn't say it really, but there's going to be some value in the Mix Max. It's got 361 runners in it at the moment, so you've got 8 minutes or so if you want to get into that one. And the PLO has got 123 runners in it, so if you're fancying playing that, you've got about the same time to get into that as well.
I'm one step ahead. I've already played both of those.
I've been there, done that.
Most guests on this week have said, if only it was a re-entry. You've
had a bad week, so I wanted to just donate and didn't even bother playing.
We thank you for that.
Yeah. I had an absolute novice on my right hand side. I don't think he'd ever played before. A guy called Richard Rudling Smith, who
he's a new
whale. Heard of
absolute him. Whale. I've heard. I mean,
we've seen him. He's had a few results playing online with us. He's learning the game.
Has he got a lot of results by opening Queen 9 under the gun and
that's the sort of stuff.
Coming up against someone else's Ace Queen and getting a board of Queen 9, that kind of thing.
He's read it in a book somewhere. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah. That's
he'll
nice
never
hand.
amount to anything in this game,
Exactly.
Paul. Don't worry.
Nice hand for Mickle there, and Kerr's down to 15, 16 bigs now, so he's starting to get.
But the thing with this one, of course, is that the downside of losing a load of players on a final table in quick succession is that when you're 3-handed, you've got 70 bigs average stat, which is what they had in the first place. Not anymore, obviously. And
it's all in a call. Ace 3 against Ace 2. It's going to get chopped up there.
Just about.
Only just, but it does.
My Argentinian's in the lead. I called it when they were, I think, 7-handed.
Yeah.
This is why you're England captain, mate.
Because they can pick Argentinian players from a distance.
I do like the fact that, when you put the advertisement on Facebook, you've got England captain Paul Haycock and then random idiot Stuart Ward. When it could have been England captain Paul Haycock, former England captain, world champion, European champion Stuart Ward, but no, just here for the ride.
I think I said the one and only. I think I described you as
Chesley Hawkes. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, I think
you're the one that needs no introduction.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went for that. So that's all good. What was it yesterday? I think it was the wonderful Natalie Bromley and the ever insightful Pete Wigglesworth. I think.
One of these is a lie. One of these is truthful.
Talking about wonderful. One of you guests tomorrow night. That'll be wonderful stuff. That
it should be highly entertaining following a Mix Max knockout and a PLO comp. So should be good. I think.
I got what you were saying there, Paul.
I was trying to bring us back to the quiz, but
yeah. But I think nobody even had a guess as to where he's supposed to be tonight. It was slightly disappointing.
Wait,
do
we have an answer?
He said he's sat in his house in his pants watching us.
Literally just gave the answer.
it went whoosh over Des's head. So yeah.
No, I'm not even listening. Sorry, I'm reading something from Tom Brady.
He's not even read the chat. That's what worries me. He's not even read the group chat.
Oh no, I haven't been in there. I don't think I don't even have any outstanding chats open on that.
Yes, Adam Sharples. Yes, it was a gig. He was due at a gig.
Getting warmer.
He was due at a gig tonight, but that got. Well, I don't think the gig got postponed. I think it's just with the train chaos. He decided against it.
Trouble is, we've now literally named every one of their songs that I know, so I can't even give any more clues anymore.
All three of them.
Yeah, 4 was there.
Is TC still in Vegas?
TC he is in Vegas. He gets what? Has he
been playing? He's apparently been playing poker with Santa tonight.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I'm quite upset that he's been playing poker. To be honest with you, you swore he wouldn't.
Is that where Santa goes for his holidays, to Vegas?
Probably, yeah. We have a winner in Simon Lawler anyway. Well done, Simon. Someone was paying attention to our waffle. Yeah.
What does he win? What does he win?
He wins JP's tickets to the Wonder Stuff that
yeah. And he'll sign them for you if you want as well. So yeah, it's even nicer. Trying to think of any more Wonder Stuff songs that I could think of. They did Hot Love Now, but that couldn't have easily been dropped in. So that wouldn't have really worked.
We're about to 20-year-old escorts.
Yeah, exactly. So
or Phil and Santa.
Or Phil and Santa, yeah.
I think it's fair to say that this is small pot poker at the moment.
Yeah, they haven't really. I was expecting to kind of go at this, but
where's the carnage? This is, I like you say it's small pot poker. I like calling it boring. Just get yourselves in there, like come on, crack on.
The thing is now, so if you look at the three of them from where they are, so Oscar's got already picked up 450 in bounties. Mickle's got 526. Kaz got 541. So they're all fairly similar in what they've already secured and what they are.
There you go.
Well, they're guaranteed $2,400 now for third place finish. So this next pay jump is going to be picking up one of the bounties and another $1,300. So it'll be worth about $1,500 this next pay jump for whoever busts the player.
There are ICM considerations for
it's fairly chunky. It is fairly chunky money now due to the fact that the number of runners that were in the comp and the guarantee on it. So I suppose it has more of a difference than maybe some of the other tournaments we've watched this week.
Yeah. It's like if you're Cara, it's like
I've pronounced it about 3 different ways.
You've got like
tonight, so,
I think it is finished. So I think it'd be Cara.
Cara, yeah.
Cara
but it's like I was going to call him halloumi, but that would be totally wrong. It's like if you've got like 19 bigs, you sat there, you need it like 2 double ups type thing. Just start jabbing it now. You're not going to get any better.
Here he goes.
He'll bust now. Yeah, great call.
Ace, no, he won't.
There we go.
I'm a genius.
See, so Stu's advice was just get your chips in the middle when you're behind, and look at that. That's what happens.
Not that far behind there. They wasn't so sick. What's that little face?
No,
get away with it.
What was the pre-odds there? What's King Queen versus Ace Jack? It's not much.
Oh yeah, it's literally like
it's like
50-50.
Yeah, it's not a huge amount in it, is it? No.
You either win or you don't. It's fine.
Yeah. So Simon Lawler's in the chat says, no poker, Stu. Did you do much gambling?
Like I say, I played some table games for a bit. There was but it was generally just like, we played a lot of slot machines. Don't like the Buffalo slot machine. When you go to Vegas, do not go on the Buffalo. He's an arsehole. That is my only advice for you.
Is it any particular Buffalo? Has it got a name? Do we know?
Barry the Buffalo? Is that bastard the buffalo. That's what I'm going to call him. It was like literally he's everywhere. He's like in every casino you go to, there's like a big buffalo. It looks like you should be winning, and he just takes you when you don't do it. Find Conan. Conan's a good machine. Like Conan. Willy Wonka's fun, but just takes your money.
So did you go and check out the World Series and the rooms and Paris and see it all, or did you not even bother?
We meant to, and then just didn't bother. It was like we basically, I think we did Venetian, Bellagio, Caesars about 97 times, Luxor, MGM. We went around like circuit, obviously the other ones downtown.
And you were staying at Harrods. You were staying at Harrods, which is great,
pretty much right. Yeah.
Bang slap in the middle of the strip, isn't it? So it's
actually been like it's had a lot of money spent recently as well. It's actually in a lot better nick than it has been for a very long time. It's actually looking very decent. I say we were going to stay like downtown, but we thought like because of the location of Harrods, we just stay like there. It's right in the middle of everything. It's like opposite Caesars and stuff. It's just it's a good hotel for the money you pay for it.
So Adam's asking, Stu, what did you think over in Vegas?
There's like everything's got all the casinos have pretty much the same slots now. So it depends what you want, really. I mean, I basically wanted to sit there and try not to spin through $40 before I'd got 2 beers out of the bloody valleys. But
how bad I am at slots has caused much hilarity on a number of Vegas trips. I don't know how anyone could be as
slots are boring unless you're playing in a group and Paul's playing when he hasn't got a clue what's going on. Then it is the most fun night you can possibly have. It really is.
Like something massive will happen. There'll be a lot of flashing and noises, and I'll get a big sign saying "enormous win" or something. And I'll win $4.
Yeah, I hate that when all the bells go. It goes big win. It's like $3.50.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I've seen Natalie unable to breathe. She was laughing so hard at how bad it slots. No idea. I'm so bad. And she sits down and puts in like $1 and spins it up to $5,000 or something.
That sounds about right, doesn't it? Yeah. No, it's just a good way to spend some time. It's like
it's more a social thing, isn't it? Yeah. If you've got drinks to the valleys and there's a group of you there playing a few different things and you're having a bit of a laugh. It's the same as playing the Pai Gow, isn't it? It's
I think it's Pai Gow now is bloody expensive, you know.
They upped all the mins on it.
The smallest we saw was like $15 min.
Wow!
What? Oh, wow!
Even at where did we play? The Flamingo?
Flamingo, yeah. Flamingo used to be about the cheapest place.
Honestly, you basically we saw like two $5 3-card tables the whole week.
Yeah.
One of them was Harrods at like 9 in the morning. One was at the Flamingo, but it was that full that like people queue around the block to play in it because. Yeah. Like it's like everything's just like minimum $10, minimum $50. And we saw one guy playing by himself, minimum was it blackjack like $200? Just what are you doing? What are you doing?
Explain to me there what Oscar just did. So Carme just made up the small blind, and Oscar just stuck in all 93 bigs in the middle there. I mean,
why is he limping with 33 bigs? It's like.
Is there any logic? But is there any logic to the shoving your entire stack in? Is that Oscar just starting to get a little bit fed up of this now because it's been going on for a while? Or
I think it's the fact that Carrick why is he limping? He's either limping with ace or he's got a hand that he's just trying to see a flop to hit something. So it's like just stick it in his eye and say, "Do you want to go out in third, mate?"
Yeah,
when the guy's got 23 bigs.
It's a message sender, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it's basically because obviously Mickle's 23 bigs now, so it's like you can't you're not limping with a big blind. So basically, he jams, and now Carrick can't do anything into the big blind unless he's got something. Because obviously, because the ICM stuff, like the other guy's got 22 big, so he now can't blink into Oscar's big blind.
I realise I'm in a bit of a glass house, telling him not to be so nitty, given that you've earlier this week commentated on me grinding a 3 big blind stack in a PLO 8 tournament.
That was entertaining. Yes. Yeah.
Sounds like a riot.
But we're in the blinds 2/3 of the time, Cara. So let's start getting active.
Let's stop the limping stuff.
And looks like he's going after the shorter stack. And
see, now he's in a spot. Now it's like
there's nearly 10 bigs in the middle there. Are they going to slow down?
I think he has to. You can't unless he's hit the. I don't know. It's just a horrible spot. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gone check.
Jam it, Mickle. Go on. Dare you.
Yeah, is anyone going to be brave enough just to go for this?
Just jam it. No, that's probably about the same.
It's 2/3.
Oh, I don't like that. No.
I don't get it because the 2/3 bet there, Stu. I mean,
it's so horrible. Yeah,
that's if Cara does exactly what's just done there, which is shoves over the top. Mickle's in a hole has had to fold. I mean, so actually,
that's why jamming's better. Yeah. If you're gonna go for it, go for it. You don't leave yourself 12 bigs. It's no man's land. I don't know.
And Mickle now is down to 11 bigs, so is really now going to be looking to find a spot to get those chips in the middle. Because the other two are going to be quite happy to take them on because of the pay jump. It's going to be picking up the bounty plus the pay jump. As I say, if one of the two knocks Mickle out there, it's worth about $1,500. So it's a big exit now. Next one coming round. So late reg is closed in both of the other comps. So thanks to everyone that supported and played those, and good luck to you if you make day 2. We'll be following both of those comps tomorrow evening. So Chris Webber in the chat, actually a few people in the chat discussing. Let's start with Tom because he posted up first. Cara not really incentivized to play big pots versus Oscar, so wouldn't be surprised if he limps his whole range SB to BB. Chris Webber says, I'd imagine Oscar has small PP and wants to deny equity from a limp jam, as we saw Cara do with the King Queen. It's good. So yes, people that are paying attention to the hands.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, look at these proper poker players in the chat.
Yeah. Look at these backseat drivers, a lot of them, eh? Honestly.
Do ask your opinion, boys, yeah?
I want to get Chris Webber on the show. I think I might have asked him once or twice or suggested it, but Chris would be very, very welcome on the show if he wants to join us for one evening. Would love to get Chris on the show and chat. He's done some really, really good comms before us, before in a live event for us. Actually, him and Dave Howard commentated on the final table of the main event in Vienna for us.
Doing comms with Chris is brilliant because Chris does all the hard work.
Because he knows his shit, basically.
And you basically stand there and drink beers and just have a laugh.
I nod. I exactly the same with Dan Williams in Luton, I think it was, one of the APATs years ago, and we did like a 2-hour commentary stint. I think I spoke like 4 times. It was. I
think me and Chris did one of the Worlds in Manchester, and he was like chatting away, and I just basically had loads of beer and just made jokes about the people that play on the final table. It was fantastic.
Limping very deep in tournaments is absolutely back. By the way, that's become so much more commonplace again recently. These things are always sort of cyclical, aren't they? I like it more blind on blind than I do out of off the button 3-handed. To be honest. So, here we go.
Mickle's hit the king. Needs to avoid a 6 or an 8 and does.
And the chips get shared around some more.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just not a fan of limping small in the big there. It's like in that spot, it's just like do something or don't. If I'm the big stack there, I'm just going to put pressure on him. I'll just keep hoovering up the half a bigs that he's like giving away, basically. But then I've not really played poker for a while now, so probably all a few years ago.
Are you still in touch with your Norwegian friend?
Yes, I am. She's got herself a boyfriend at the minute.
Really? Awesome.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's loving life.
Oh, we liked her. We thought she was really good value, really good entertaining.
Oh, she's funny.
Kept us amused.
She's probably with him now, actually. I didn't tell her I was coming on here tonight. Otherwise, she'd have been here being her usual self with her fantastic jokes.
Yeah, so this has evened out, and as you say, they're still so deep stack wise.
We did spot that euphemism you used a couple of times, Stu, about we met some people in Vegas. We haven't sort of pressed you on that one, but
I let that one slide.
Yeah, we met some people.
I met Phil, Lily, Karen, and Suze, and my brother.
That was it. That's a small circle of friends.
And I met Warren Brooks turned up one night.
Did he?
I was Warren out there. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Warren turned up and tried to talk to me about poker when I was about 73 rum and cokes deep.
How's Warren doing? Was he out there for a similar time as you, or is he still out there now?
I think I don't know. I think he was only out there for like 5 days. I mean, he came after us. I think he was leaving about the same time. But
okay,
I met him when he basically was talking about poker, and I was very drunk and just didn't really care. But yeah, it's like he's a nice bloke. I think he won about $2,500 on a bloody 3-card poker hand, from my very drunk recollections of things.
What one of the table games?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like a straight for me apparently. I got told, but I didn't win it, so I didn't care. I'm very selfish in that kind of manner.
Just looking, they're down to 40 runners in the PLO tonight, and that's going to be paying out top 23, down to 134 in the Mix Max. That's paying out top 65. Just on the first page of the PLO, Dan Houston has got a decent stack. Currently, he's at 13.
Who's ghosting his account?
Eddie Niaksu's in the top 20 there at the moment. Our very own Tony G, currently 11th in that one. Tom Banks is currently 6th in that one. So we could have quite a few APAT names in day 2 of that for tomorrow.
Nice.
So Simon Lawler in the chat says, yeah, the structures in these are so good. Not seen a crapshoot yet as we've got to the final stages. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. We've had some absolute tussles heads up so far this week. Really, really good stuff where they've had plenty of poker to play. Isn't been a case of 3 or 4 hands and the chips are going in. It's been really, really entertaining to watch. And this say from 3-handed here has been really good.
Heads up last night must have ran 40, 50 minutes. It felt like certainly it was a hell of a tussle.
What time of night did the fixed limit finish? Because that played out as a 1-dayer in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it was literally 1:05, 10:01, something like that.
Was it? I thought that was going to be like a 3-4 a.m. finish.
I did think it as well. Actually, John Sibley called it in the chat on the show on the night. He said he thought this would finish at 1 o'clock, and it was about 1:05. So yeah, excellent. Winner was Mr. Simon Brooke.
Yes, it was.
How have you let that happen? By the way.
I must admit, I did check. It must have been some sort of glitch in the software, but no,
it's not like the Richard Bakers where there's two Richard Bakers. Like, is there 2 Simon Brooks or?
No, there is only the one. Funny if I had Richard Baker gave me a phone call this afternoon.
That must have been a joy for you.
He was just querying something about a satellite ticket that he'd accidentally won for the wrong tournament. So he thought he'd give me a ring. I said it wouldn't have happened to Canadian Richard Baker. I said that wouldn't have happened.
I mean, it must be an accident if he actually won something.
Yeah, so he was trying to see if he could get it changed. I said, unfortunately, it'll require a customer support call, but I'm sure if you ask nicely, you'll get somebody that'll be able to sort that out for you.
Robert Hallworth is in the chat box with the truth, and he says Brooke got lucky.
Yeah, Rob finished 2nd in that fixed limit game.
Checks out.
Yeah. So
we also have one Mr. Richard Baker out there who goes lol. Oh, fantastic.
So yeah, nice to see
Richard. Hold
Baker.
on. Didn't happen. Right, come on. Who's lying? Who's lying here? Didn't happen.
What didn't happen?
Don't know. He didn't say what didn't happen, but
probably Curly winning winning a satellite. To be honest with you, I've seen him playing before.
That's a cracker.
So Oscar has sort of chipped down a little bit here from chip the sort of stack size that he had, but still comfortably well ahead of the other 2 at the moment. I mean, if you're Oscar, how do you want this to work ideally? I mean, the tactic, I suppose, is to.
I don't want to make bets on the turn and have someone jam on me.
Yeah, it's to try and keep beating these 2 up to get to a position where you've got such a good chip lead going heads up. But
yeah,
he's had his wings clipped a little bit.
Yeah, I mean now ultimately, if
back more often than he was.
Yeah, if Cara bust Mickle now, then actually they'd be pretty much even stacks going into the heads up, wouldn't they? So it's a difficult one, but it's still playing and raises it up here.
Looks like.
So Richard's saying that the ticket was not swapped under any circumstances. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. If I was working in customer support, I'd have switched them over for you.
I wouldn't,
to be honest, because as I said to you, Richard, earlier on this afternoon, I had a funny feeling both of tonight's comps might overlay a little bit, so it didn't really matter which one you went in, as long as you got in the one you wanted to get in. So, in the grand scheme of things, it makes no difference to Party Poker, but it made a difference to the player. So, do the right thing. That's what I would have done.
I think Oscar's getting very frustrated, and he's making moves that he probably doesn't need. Doesn't need to.
And it's ace 10 against jacks. Going to need to hit an ace.
No.
Options.
Ace 10's terrible there.
And Cara takes the chip lead now. And Oscar has gone from chip leader, significant chip leader, to short start on this time. Now, Cara's in a great spot here now because Oscar's got 21 bigs. Mikkel's got 28 bigs. And Cara's got sort of triple, each of those. So is in a good place here. Do you think that was frustration from Oscar? Just maybe not seeing many hands and trying, as you say, trying to make moves and just not working out?
That's what it felt like to me, honestly, because I don't mind the 3-bet with ace 10, but just fold. You don't need to continue. I think he's basically
He knows that Cara's getting frustrated. He knows that Cara's got, what was it, 28 bigs behind, and he's looking to get them in. I don't mind it too much.
I think when he's like kind of 4-bet jammed, I just think ace 10's like whatever, just fold it. I don't think you're ahead of that much there. It's fine. It's fine to 3-bet with the board. I don't think I'd be calling off the jump as much as I'd want to because I'm a whale.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because ace 10, if you're thinking 3-handed, well, therefore ace 10's a stronger hand. It's it should play better. And if you've been sat watching absolute rubbish, maybe getting dealt for a little while and whatever. So yeah,
Cara's been getting aggressive as well, hasn't he? He'd been sort of running quite aggressive up to that. Chris Phillips has joined us. He is in Portugal.
Oh, hello, Chris. Hope you're enjoying it out there.
Yeah, good to see you, Chris. I mean, help me to understand why we've got a bunch. I mean, a lot of people in viewing tonight, a lot of comments in the chat box. We haven't had one APATer on the sort of on the final table.
Yeah, no, exactly. The final,
absolutely
the whole
nobody
final 16
to know.
The whole final 16 was nobody.
It's mad.
Graham Maguire was about the only name that I recognised. Graham's played a few comps with us online. So
Rob Hallworth, Leigh, a party gave me $55 tournament credit for my SAT ticket to WCOAP 1. I couldn't use as was already playing. First customer support said no. Second attempt was successful.
Yeah, that's great. And as Rob says, so fair play. That's also super frustrating.
It is. It's inconsistent.
That you're playing effectively roulette as to which customer service person you're going to get as to who's going to make what decision. The rules should be a standard rule. And it isn't just who you get on the day. That's the super frustrating thing. Great for you, Rob, and I'm pleased that they did that for you. Because what happened in Rob's situation was he was playing a satellite for the tournament, but he actually wanted to play the tournament from the start. So he bought into it, then satellited into it as well. So ended up with effectively a ticket for an event he'd already bought into, and it's a freeze out because obviously 99% of everything APAT does is freeze out. So I don't know whether we've mentioned that, but I'll just throw it out there.
What percentage, Leigh?
Oh, at least 99%. So I'm pleased that they sorted that for Rob because that's a genuine situation due to the timings of the tournaments. But as I say, frustrating. It takes 2 attempts to get it fixed. Like, come on, sort it out. And as I say, the Rich Baker one this afternoon, he's got into the one thinking it was confused. I mean, Rich is getting on a bit. I mean, let's be honest. His eyesight's
read the terms and conditions. Press the little box, Rich. It pops up and tells you what you're playing for.
It genuinely wouldn't have mattered which tournament he'd put his $55 ticket in for tonight. So, it made no sense. Just made no sense to me. Yeah. So
I was interested in how Cara would respond to going from being the short stack for hours to now having infinite bigs by comparison, and there's no immediate signs that he's using that stack to put pressure on the other two. But we'll give them a chance.
Oh, must have been bad.
I'll tell you, lads, I spent a tidy it might be more than 60 minutes, but watching a Netflix show called Gladbach over the last couple of days about a kidnapping in Germany. And this is going back to the mid-80s. And they showed the outcome of this kidnapping in real time using news footage and stuff like that. Wow. If you get a chance, highly recommended. Gladbach.
Excellent. That
You are full of joy today, aren't you?
Yeah. That recently out? Really, been out for a while.
I'm not sure whether it was new but I hadn't seen it before, so maybe it is. But it's for sure worth watching.
We are seeing the dark side of Des today. It's like all shootings and kidnappings.
Well, it's what with the guarantees and stuff.
I guess and then stealing everyone's money from guarantees and freeze-outs.
It's been a dark day.
The only reason it's not like this all the time is that the football season's usually on. So
yeah.
When you've got football to moan about, that just gets in the way of the really dark stuff that's always there.
The football takes the edge off.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you looking forward to watching Erling Haaland score 45 goals next season? And Man City just winning everything.
And I was feeling so happy. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I mean, frankly, if City gets 7 goals instead of 6 per average game, it's not going to make a lot of difference to me. I think it would be really interesting to see how he gets on.
Here's a question for you. Would you say with your transfer business so far this summer, Liverpool are a stronger or weaker starting 11 than you were last season?
Well, I'd have to say weaker at this moment in time, but theoretically we're stronger. But I'd have to say weaker until I see the theory coming into practice. I think the biggest concern at the moment is that we're probably a central midfielder short, and obviously last year's selection is getting a year older in terms of Thiago and Henderson and what have you. So, yeah, it's hard to see us being stronger at the moment.
Henderson's 39. James Milner's 53 now.
Yeah, but for 53, Milner is amazing. I mean, honestly, I thought the games he played last season, I think he started 12 games last season. Honestly, it's like he's tough. He's the fittest player at Liverpool, I'd say.
Yeah. The worrying thing is that City, Haaland strengthens their starting 11.
Well, maybe he does and maybe he doesn't, Lee. This is what we don't know. So yes,
he does.
Of course he does.
No, hold on. Let me explain. So as a number 9, of course he does. Yeah, I think he might be the best number 9 in the world. But City haven't played with a number 9 for quite some time. They play a different game. So,
they played that different game because he didn't have a number 9.
Aye, but
when they played with Aguero, they were bossing things, and Aguero scored loads of goals, and now they've got an absolute animal at number 9. They're going to just.
There's also a few players. Also, going to be a few players pulling out of City. I mean, Sterling is arguably.
Yeah, but I think the frightening thing is Sterling goes, and you might then start seeing the best of Grealish. They've got so many players in there.
Foden, Bernardo.
It's frightening.
It's like Mahrez. You got like people there who just like.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not looking for weakness in City because I don't see any. All that I'm saying is that Haaland will be. It'll have to be a slightly different City to what we saw last season. I
think if City sign they're looking for, obviously, I think a defensive midfielder. I think they're probably one defensive midfielder light of being pretty much a solid squad for the season.
Things like with City, it's like they get the ball in the box lots, and Haaland is going to make his money in the box.
Yeah,
where he's 6'5" and built like a house.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
but Haaland scores a lot of goals. Running behind defenses and stuff like that as well. I mean, he's fast. He's super accurate. He won't.
I think that you want to.
I'll tell you something about Haaland, if I can.
Go on.
He is not going to find the space at City that he's found at either of the last 2 clubs he was at. Because, frankly, he's going to be in a team that's going to be up against, 11-man defences every week.
But he's also going to find a lot better service for what he's going to get anyway. So it's 6 and 2-3, isn't it? It's like...
all I'm saying is don't absolutely bet everything you have.
I think you'll find this season you're going to be wanting to keep your eye out for those teams that do their business really late. They're the ones that you've got to watch for this year.
Are there any players left though?
They're the ones that are going to be signing players you've never even heard of, that you've never even scouted, weren't even on your radar. They're gonna make a huge
and maybe one or two that have literally been dead.
Quite possibly, yeah. Quite possibly, yeah.
What you need to do is just sign Walsall's ex-players. I mean, that's a great.
I'm just waiting for
you signed all of our ex-goalkeepers today, apparently. So
no, we haven't got Darlow yet, but Nick Pope being raided from that dross of Burnley. I can tell this because Natalie's not here to shout at me. It's great.
She's probably watching. But she's got some sort of system whereby if you slag off Burnley, the alarm goes off.
Pinged, yeah.
Notification, yeah.
No longer in the dungeon, though. I hear she hasn't got a dungeon anymore.
Dungeon's gone. Yeah. Simon Lawler's in the chat and asked the question for you, Stu. A Borough worth a bet for promotion this season?
Right.
Robertson go.
Right. So he's not going to be he's our second choice. Even though we haven't got a first choice yet. I don't know. Right. So basically, Wilder came in last season, like halfway, about December time, after Warnock had already taken a massive shite in our season, and he turned us around and nearly got us into the playoffs, like from where we were, which was massive. We basically, from what I've heard of who we're trying to sign, we've got a lot of very, very good types, like Dwight Gale from Newcastle. I know he's like 31 now, but he's a great championship player. We've got Adam, Armstrong from Southampton, he's a good player. They're all players we're in for. It's basically, I'd say that if Wilder gets who he wants, then I'd get us to get automatic promotion. It just, it's early doors, and we've only signed two players, one player, and we've got that Lenihan from Blackburn that he was their captain coming on from centre half. But it's basically, if I'd wait another couple of weeks, and then if we get the players that we're being linked very strongly with, then I'd say yeah, because Chris Wilder's a very good manager, and he gets his teams playing the right way, and he turned us around in half a season. So if he's got a full pre-season now with his own players, then I think we've got a very good chance.
Yeah,
very good chance.
Who would you say? Who's the pick? Who is the favourites to go back? Assuming it's one of the teams that have come down this season.
It'd be Watford or Norwich, because Norwich are just going to bounce between the two leagues.
But would you say Watford, Norwich, and Burnley, who are coming down, all of them have got to be a good team?
Burnley, not so much, because Burnley don't have that. I don't know. I don't think Burnley have got that strong a squad, and I can't see them being able to.
Do you not think with company there at Burnley that makes a difference?
I don't really know what he's done in his managerial career so far.
It's more, I think, the type of character he is and what he's won in his playing career to say that he's a winner, and therefore if he can get that team together. You see what Rooney managed to do with Derby, considering the state that club is in.
Can we go back to Derby, by the way? Remember all the chat we had about it being Steve Gibson's fault that they weren't getting bought about a year ago?
Yeah.
And now they're in League One and they're still not being bought. It's weird. So anyway, Burnley.
Yeah.
They haven't got Sean Dyche anymore, so I find it a little bit more difficult to dislike.
Chris Phillips says he'll take the bet. So Chris is happy to take the bet. So
you should have just left it at that first comment, by the way. The best way to slag off Natalie's team is just by saying, who do you think will come back up? The ones that come down? Oh, either Watford or Norwich. And leave it at that. That was perfect.
She sat at home now screaming.
They just stopped.
So Chris doesn't reckon that Borough will go back up?
Obviously not. Yeah.
Who does Chris
support? So John Sibley says Cara is on his table in the PLO. So Cara's multi-tabling tonight across APAT events. So.
No, the Championship's such a horrible, horrible league to get out of as well. It's disgusting. It's like the hardest league in the world, and it's a 5,223 game season.
If it's any consolation, it's pretty hard to get into as well.
It's great because, to be fair, Sunderland have come back into the league, so we got an easy 6 points this season, which is good.
Would you say it's the hardest? I know it's obviously, winning a top league in any other country arguably is more prestigious, but from a point of view of actually toughest division to win or get out of, would you say the Championship is it?
I'm not sure to win. I'm not sure to win, but to get out of, yes, because there is that many teams that come down. They've got the parachute payments that are obviously and the squads that, like Fulham. They were massively competitive because
it's the most competitively, which makes it the toughest one to get out of.
Because but then you say you've got your 3 relegated teams, and then you've got like another 7 or 8 teams who are all going to be there or thereabouts, just fighting away for 46 games.
And Cardiff could have signed Gareth Bale by then.
Honestly, I think Gareth Bale would hate the Championship.
I'm not sure how much he would really play. I get the impression he's a free agent and he's looking for a club where he can basically
just train
until the World Cup, because he's not going to want to do anything that risks him getting to play in that World Cup ultimately.
He's getting a living daylights kicked out of him by
the point is he doesn't need the money, so I don't think he's going to go anywhere where anything too much risk is going to be put to it. He doesn't need a salary necessarily. So ultimately, he wants to be somewhere just where he can keep match fit until the World Cup. I think that's pretty much it.
In the Championship, people will just lump him to bits, and like there's no point in doing it because he's going to get injured because he's been injury prone in the past, and if he gets clattered by a big 6 foot.
So would you say he's better off finding a Premier League club where he can maybe come off the bench and
absolutely
for every game until the World Cup?
In fairness, if he goes to United, he won't even get hurt in training. I mean, it mightn't be a bad solution for him. And United could sell some shirts on the back of it. Win-win.
I don't think we'd sign him. I don't think. What would we want him?
I'm not sure he'd want to go.
I think we probably would. I think we'd probably take him on a short-term deal. I mean, it's got to be better than what we've got at the moment. So
just imagine he and Cristiano, right? Are you seeing it on the homepage of the website? Fantastic.
Yeah, no, I mean, for a short-term deal, I think we probably would do something. Yeah. If the opportunity, that's probably where we'll end up doing. That's the type of deal we'll end up doing.
Unfortunately, it looks like you might have missed out on your biggest summer signing because Michael Edwards has left Liverpool, and it looks like United were in for him, but I don't think he's going to go there. There's talk of Chelsea, him potentially replacing
because she's stepping down, isn't she? But it's going to see through this transfer window. Yeah,
but he's desperate to take a year off because it's not easy earning the big bucks. But he'd be a wonderful signing for either United or particularly United.
But I would imagine Chelsea would make sense because he could effectively have the time off until the winter transfer window, or maybe even agree to have the time off until following summer. So. Yeah.
But whether he'd want to join a club, and I must admit, I find this hard to believe, but apparently the new Chelsea owner is currently acting sporting director at Chelsea as well.
Yes, and chairman.
Yeah, I mean,
owner,
really?
chairman, and an acting sporting director. Yeah.
So
learning the ropes, I believe it's what it's known as. Yeah.
What sort of owner can come in and decide? Do you know what? I'm going to be the sporting director in the middle of what is a critical window for Chelsea. I
saw somebody on the radio the other day that was saying they thought it was a really good move because it was a good way of learning the club.
Well,
when you don't know anything about a football club.
But should you be the last guy who says, "Yeah, let's sign him"?
Yeah,
I really like the thought. Yeah. I've seen his CV from Italy. Apparently, he's a big number 9, 100 million euros. Let's just sign him. His name is Lukaku. Have you heard of him?
Sounds a good player. Sounds like has he got any Premier League experience?
Apparently not. He's come from Italy.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's done really well over there.
He'll be okay. He'll be fine. This is pretty much leveled out now. Carrie's got 42 bigs, Mikkel's got 31, and Oscar's got 24. So they've really leveled out here. All of them. They're not a huge amount between them.
It's still pretty cagey. It's this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it is. Just looking at the PLO, they're down to 26 in that, paying top 23. An APAT show team member, Dan Austin, is currently chip leader now in that one.
Go on, Dan.
Tony G our very own Tony G is still up there, got 11th in chips. Tom Banks is still 15th. John Sibley John Sibley's now 15th, so Tom might move down a couple of places. Hopefully not bust. That would be a real shame.
Dan's not in the Wales team for next week, is it?
No, he's not. No.
That helps.
No, he's working out how he can get to Nottingham from a timing point of view. I think he's
of course.
Friday. I think he's traveling up to try and play the main event after work. I think. So.
Yeah. I think he might even be there for Thursday, but
maybe the Thursday
he will certainly be there. So Chris is saying that Bale hasn't got the energy or the motivation to play in the Championship. I mean, possibly, albeit the World Cup is the motivation, right? The Championship is just about getting your fitness and just keeping it finely tuned. Yeah.
Just looking at other names in that PLO, Des, there's one Dirk Veal from Germany.
Back.
Dirk is back.
That is Natalie's Dirk, right?
No, fake Dirk from the other night.
Fake Dirk from the other night.
Billy's in the chat saying, okay, re-entries allowed for 109 on Sunday. Sorted with a wink. So that means he's won a satellite tonight, which means he's now got his two bullets for that if he needs it. So well done to him. So Dan Lowe's in the chat says he should take Ison should take his spot. He's just there for a bunch of drinks. Well, we know that's not true because we know the more bunch of drinks that Dan Lowe gets, the better his poker playing gets. So the points start racking up for Dan.
And then Wales have won like 150 of the recent events, right? They just won 10 years in a row or something.
They do have history.
I think we've run 10 of the team events, and Wales have won it 4 times. I think it is.
Yeah, okay, but those 4 are in the last 6. They're on a crazy run, I think, aren't they?
They won 2. I think they won 2, and they won. Yeah, I think they did 2 on the bounce. About maybe the 3rd or 4th ones in, and then they've had 2. They obviously one of those is online last year. So
yeah, okay.
But it isn't 2 on the bounce because the Netherlands won the last live one in Vienna.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I remember it well. There's a couple of the usual Dutch guys that I always look forward to seeing. They're not involved this time. I'm sure the Dutch team will all be great, and we'll.
Yeah, Stefan's got a good team together, and they'll give it their best shot to try and. I mean, technically defending the kind of the live version of it.
Shamro, Danny, and Marco, but we'll.
I mean, Paul. There's only one England team that's never been defeated as world champions as well. Also,
that's right, 2013.
Yep, our boys.
I dream to follow in your footsteps, Stu.
I hope you do. Honestly, it'd be fantastic.
It'd be alright, wouldn't it? I'd enjoy that.
Yeah, I'll raise that. Hopefully, you don't get photo bombed by John Murray when you're having a team photo with your bracelets and all sorts.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. John's well.
I don't know what you mean. That's we arranged that. That's part of the deal. What are you talking about?
You get win a world championship, get a John Murray free.
Yeah, we have to contract John every year for that. It's not, it doesn't do it for free. I mean, seriously.
My main memory of John Murray in relation to international events is when Scouts wanted to chin him because he thought he'd donated his entire stack to a Welsh Scout.
To be fair, I think when we won ours, I walked out of the desk absolutely boiling because Craig McInnes, I was 3-handed in a PLO event, and Craig McInnes was sat there laughing at me as he just basically raised folded to the other guy who was left in the thing just so England didn't get points. I was absolutely raging.
Wow.
He was just literally just sat there raised folding and laughing at me.
Yeah,
it's great. I mean, to be fair, I took it with my usual good grace of informing him that he's shite at poker, and if we were playing in a non-tier event, I'd have rinsed him by now. But I was just
to be honest, I think Canada were going for the bronze, weren't they? So that took fortitude.
I just had Carl Pilgrim going, Stu, calm down.
Oh, sorry,
calm down. But obviously, I'm usually just a calm and collective player at the table anyway. I was just absolutely raging. But that's the absolute joy of the team event because you get that emotionally involved in it. It was like I say, I can't remember, it was just getting heads up. And the times were giving it large about how they're going to destroy us and take the goal. And we were just sat there. We're like, it was great because Steve Redford was obviously captain. He's a very calming influence. He's very steady. You had me and Tony Trippier in the team who were like bouncing off the walls at the time. It was just like Tony there, like he's like you're trying to herd cats. He was just like, sit down, stop it, sit down. Where have they gone? Where have they gone? Where are they? Kind of thing, it was like we were just like all over the place. But that like I say, that team had like a really good. See, picked the team, a really good combination of like personalities. So like you had like Asa, Carl, and Steve who were quite calm, then me and Tony were a bit like loose cannonish.
Say no more. We know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, Tony is probably the best like international teammate I play with, though, because he just cares that much, and he's like a real team player, and he was brilliant just to have on the team because he's got that positive attitude all the time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of international, a lot of the team events, it's around having a good team and a team atmosphere. And people who want to support each other and stuff.
We had Tony as a guest on this stream going back, crikey. Well,
Tony.
2020. Tony. It was absolutely brilliant. Definitely one of the best ones.
Such good value, isn't he? He's just He's a brilliant guy. And he's a guy who I always look forward to seeing. Him
and Dez's discussion about religion on a. I feel it like it was a Saturday night or something like that. I can't remember. Maybe it was.
I can imagine that was very highbrow.
I just sat back and let it happen. It was the best thing to do. Honestly, it's on YouTube. So if you want to go back and listen to it, it is priceless.
I think you should put a link up to that. Everyone needs to see that. I'd love to hear Tony's views on religion.
It was between the two of them. It was proper. Des was properly in there as an interviewer. It was good stuff.
Were you pushing Tony's buttons, Des?
I don't think so. No, he was there. He was wide open, as they say.
I think there was mutual button pushing. I think, if I'm honest, I think it was.
Doesn't sound like Tony.
Yeah.
It was authentic. There was no button pushing. It felt authentic. He wanted to tell his story, and it was an interesting one.
Given you know my views on religion, Leigh, is this going to trigger me badly, or am I going to enjoy every second of it?
No, you'll enjoy every second of it. It's really good.
Yeah. I thought it was.
To be honest, it's irrelevant what your views are on religion. It's genuinely a very, very entertaining chat. It really is. It's you just don't. It goes places you just didn't imagine it could possibly ever go, but it does. It's very good.
I say they say it's like I'm a genuine believer that team events. You'll do better as a team if you pick people who are all going to buy into the team.
Yeah,
they basically buy into being that team, and who are going to support each other and be there railing every single hand. If you get knocked out, you go and rail your team and stuff.
That's what we saw in the APAT team event with the APAT show. We've talked about it enough on this show, I know, but we had exactly that. And
all in the call. It's Ace Queen versus King 7. The Ace Queen is at risk for Oscar. But he's going to be there. Good. And I mean, double up. And Mikkel now is on 2 big. So I'd imagine next hand we're going to see.
Having been so careful for so long, we've got it in with King 7.
Yeah. So, I was going to say the exact same thing. We've tiptoed about for hours and then just go, King 7, yay!
He's got work in the morning, and it's just dawned on him.
Surely Carrie's got to just make the call here and then he checks down, don't you? Surely.
If he doesn't go call and check down, I'm going to be.
I mean, to be fair to the player from Finland is playing the PLO at least as well. So let's be.
Look at that King 7.
King 7 would be good now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Check.
Please check back.
Well, if he doesn't check, he's got a piece. There you go. No. He's obviously got Ace King or something, right?
Remember it's a bounty.
There's $1,100.
That's Paul. That's a very, very fair comment. It's a bounty. So, it's.
But there's just like $1,100 at stake for the lad. It's just.
It's trying to steal the bounty now, isn't it? Or think you're going to steal the bounty.
Yeah,
but if you've got nothing,
I hope it's because he's confident.
That club's just made him absolutely poo himself. Basically, he's locked up.
Okay, we're going to go check and see which. Hopefully, one of them is going to pick up the bounty. It might be not. Could be Mikkel that's got.
Oscar's going to win it with King Jack.
Let's go, Mikkel. 5-8.
Okay, all right.
Oh wow,
that's messed it up.
Gets a call.
What?
5-7.
What on earth am I?
And Queen 6.
Nice.
Wow, good.
It's my boy. I told you.
Oscar, that's nice from Oscar though. That's good stuff. So we lose Mikkel in third place, picking up $526 in bounties plus $2,400 in the prize pool. So pretty much that's just close to $3,000. And we are heads up, and not a huge amount. Oscar's got not quite a 2-1 chip lead, but just a little bit shy of that as we go into this heads up. Now, as I say, they both are guaranteed $3,500 pretty much for first and second. They're now playing for effectively the final bounty of the night, which is going to be what's it going to be? $650. It's going to be about $1,300 they're playing for now, which is effectively the final bounty of the night. The way you work that out is it's the bounties that they've got showing on their screen added together and then multiplied by 2. So that's what they're pretty much playing for now, this final bounty. So it'll be about $1,300. Oscar's already guaranteed $726 with the bounties. Carrie's got 541. So this huge chunk of money now up top for winning this heads up.
The thing you are, you're just playing
Oscar
for that.
Deserves to win from hours ago, but he especially deserves to win it now after making that call. He's my guy. Sorry, Stu.
Honestly, I just don't understand the way that handle it. Like when you've got that guy, I know you're playing for his bounty and all that, but I'm still just going to go check it down and see. I mean, I like Kara's bet on the river, but yeah, I don't know. People are better than me, so.
They're currently playing hand for hand in the PLO as we're down to 24 players and it's paying top 23. So they're on level 6, coming into level 17 of that, place a level 21 tonight. So that will probably get down to maybe final 2 tables before the end of the night, I'd imagine. The Mix Max knockout is currently on 77 runners. It's paying top 65. So that's got another 10 levels to go. So there's about another 2 hours play in that.
They're in here
tonight.
You're going to take that.
Oh, Des. Borough have been linked with, is it Ben Davies from Liverpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, Borough have been linked with buying him.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, he was a bit of a sad story. He came to us in the January window, so he's been with us a year and a half. I don't think he's played a competitive game. He's played once or twice in pre-season friends, but he's a very decent player. We brought him in when all of the Liverpool centre-backs were injured, right? Yeah. So Van Dijk had been Pickforded, and the others were out basically injured. We were playing centre-backs at full-back. Was
that when he brought Nat Phillips in as well, yeah?
Well, Nat was there. So
was that already there? Yeah. Okay.
But the concern for Davies would be that, he ended up going, playing second fiddle very often to both Nat Phillips and Reece Williams. So that would be a concern. But, he looked like a pretty decent player. So
yeah, that was on the count today, which is weird. It's like you just count out of nowhere. It's like, well, we obviously we got rid of the legend that is Sol Bamba, and the not so much legend that is Leigh freaking Peltier. So we're looking for more.
How old was Bamba?
36.
Wow. Okay.
The thing is, like Sol Bamba, he's like from watching him play, he's just an absolute leader on the pitch. When he was playing, you could see he was talking to everyone. He was throwing his body on the line. He's not very quick anymore because he's 36 years old, but he was literally just there all the time. He'd throw his head in the way of the ball if he had to, in someone's boot. But he was talking to his defence all the time. I mean, granted, he had Joe Lumley behind him, who's garbage, who messed it all up. But Sol Bamba was he was a fan favourite because of the way he played, and he played with a smile on his face as well. Okay, he scored one of our penalties against Man United, and he just stepped up and smashed it in the bottom.
Yeah, no, I remember
and
that.
Everyone was just so happy for him because he just literally just I'm 36 years old.
Did he come off on a sub that game?
Yeah. He came on as a sub late on and just stepped up and rattled the penalty over, and everyone was just like, that's why he did it, because he basically did it just because he just seen you play it. And he
even as a United fan, you kind of wanted him to stick it in the back of the net because
obviously what he's been through and stuff as well. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
but he was just just when he played the pitch, you could see him talking to everyone. And we had Dale Fry's a young centre half. He'll do well in the game. By the way, he'll play Premier League for someone at some point. Yeah. And then he would just talk him through the game. I mean, Dale's like a really good player. He's like the old joke where he had like Ronaldo in his back pocket and then Harry Kane in his back pocket, like from the cup games. He played so well, but it's because he had Sol Bamba there, just like, talking him through the games and stuff. He's learned so much of him. And like Sol Bamba was he was only here for a season, but everyone loved him.
Well, Davies is mature, right? So he's not a kid. My only concern will be that he really hasn't played very much in the last year and a half. So that would be the concern. But I know, we all thought he looked to be a pretty decent player when he came in. So whether he just didn't cut it in training or not, I don't know. But definitely didn't get the breakthrough.
I suppose it's different in the Premier League to a championship kind of team, isn't it? I mean,
I'll just answer Billy Johnson's question before we start this this football chain that has just begun on the in the chat. So Billy's asking if by some miracle he doesn't need his second bullet now, would it be available elsewhere or must he use it? Well, you don't must use it, because if you don't need to use it, then that's okay. But normally what Party will then do is anybody that's got a second ticket for an event like that, which with one re-entry, and they don't use that ticket, that they will transfer it or do something with it after the event, as far as I'm aware. Don't take that as absolute gospel, but as far as I'm aware, if you've got a second ticket now, as there is one re-entry allowed, and you don't use that, then they should transfer that to something else for you after the event. And then the chain starts. So Dan Austin says maybe Borough can get hold of a few more Cardiff rejects.
I mean, I'd love to know which.
Yeah, but then Simon Brooke then comes in and says maybe Cardiff can get hold of some more Bristol City rejects. So I don't know where we go from there, but
I mean, I'd love to know which ones Dan's talking about. Didn't Aidan Flint sign for Cardiff from Middlesbrough? By the way, Dan, or am I wrong there? I mean, Cardiff are the epitome of mid-table shite in the Championship. It's like no one cares about them.
Yeah, but
if you sign Gareth Bale,
but it's not that long ago.
It's
not that long ago. They were they were up in the top division. They've certainly got the setup and the ability to kind of structure wise to hold their own in the top league. I guess it's I mean, I suppose it's looking at Forest last season. They've been sort of knocking on the door, maybe for the odd season in the last 10, but not really really doing it. And all of a sudden they've had their year and they've gone up. Sometimes you can find a team can do that, get up, and the tricky thing is then staying there. Burnley did it for a decent chunk of time. Look what Wolves have now done as a club once they got up there and have found some stability.
I think right
in the top league, it can be done. And as I think, as you said earlier on, Stu, so many teams in that championship that potentially could get up there, and it just, if they have the right bit of luck to start staying up for a second season or a third season, then they're
but Wolves had money. That's why Wolves got out of the Championship. Cardiff have no money. They're just like I'll tell you, Borough signed Peltier and Bamba. That was under Neil Warnock, and those are dark days that I don't want to go back to, because it's not healthy, right? But we did have Peltier and Bamba, but it's like,
so back on the Billy Johnson response. Simon Lawler, as always, comes in with the font of all knowledge with it. It says it'll get converted to P dollars if not used, which I presume are the party poker dollars that aren't tournament dollars.
Yes, by the way, to whoever just said, prove that you're on live by saying yes.
I think that was off. Is that off the YouTube stream?
It was indeed. It was indeed.
He could have picked a damn sight more entertaining thing to say than yes.
Yeah, but I can't put up the death threat that followed.
Well, and it's Paul. Paul that said yes.
If you want, but
it's Paul that said yes. So is he the one that's now in trouble? Yeah.
We'd have to figure which of us it was aimed at.
Yeah.
Probably me. I'll take it.
Well, you were going to be our re-raise, Stu. We'll see your comment and we'll re-raise you, Stu.
Yep. I'm up for that. I'm brave. Or stupid.
So Oscar now has a 2-1 chip lead here. But they're certainly playing some hands, aren't they? This isn't a case of
Paul's boy is there, isn't
he? That was good. Yeah, Oscar just no messing, just set him in for all of his 30 bigs. He's been 4-bet jammed on a couple of times and had to fold both times. So Oscar's taken that option away from him, but just open jamming. Oscar's kind of sick of him, I think.
I like that though.
Yeah.
It's a great turn card to bet as well. The 2 hearts there. It's just like, yep, get out my pot, please, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Carroll's played well as well, though. He's been a lot more active since he got that double a while ago, and obviously now heads up. It's a pretty classic heads up, man.
But as Simon mentioned earlier on, it's still great that your heads up here, and there's still pretty deep stacks. So there isn't a case of just getting your chips in a few hands and getting it over with. You've got a bit of room to try and play a little bit and outplay your opponent in these heads up scenarios.
Yeah.
So Paul, blind versus blind now this deep. What's your thoughts on limping and raising and all that kind of stuff? What's your ranges for things?
I obviously have to mix it up and not be too predictable, but just hyper aggressive usually. Heads up, especially.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I'm raising a lot from the small blind, just putting pressure on and then
and
seeing the guy reacts and then probably mixing in some limps with the top end of your range and stuff. But...
Yeah, classic stuff. Your bet sizing is always higher, bigger out of position.
Yeah.
So just a comment from John Sibley saying PLO bubbles are so long. Just as he posted that, the bubble has burst. And that is done. And unfortunately, it's the young up and coming Richard Rudling Smith, who is the bubble boy.
He'll never amount to anything. Never amount to anything.
I just really hope bubbling there doesn't affect his future career. That would be really disappointing if that impacts on his road to poker stardom. Let's hope that isn't the case.
I think he's one to keep an eye on. He might play a few internationals in the future. I think that boy.
Yeah, I think he's got game. He's done very well. Not quite made the money this time, but hey, there's always another tournament to play.
You keep grinding, Rudders. You keep grinding.
Yeah. So yeah, John also says Cara only had 11 bigs when they were four-handed when Conrado went out. Yeah.
Or Graham, as we like to call him.
Yeah.
I still miss Georgie Dave.
Yeah, bust early in seventh. It just wasn't meant to be, was it? But you've got to be happy though.
That could have ran all night, and he's let us down. I feel personally let down by it.
Picked up $780 for his trouble. So got to be happy with that.
But he stripped us of content, Leigh. That's what he did.
That's true. That is very true.
Just ban him from the future.
To be honest, I was just having nightmares thinking if he finishes in the top three, I've got to do a graphic for tomorrow morning. That was my main concern.
Just you just doodling on a screen.
I mean, I to be fair, if anybody in the top three does have any accents or whatever on any of their name, I do go to the effort of getting the right glyph to make it work. So whatever. But when it comes to what's is it Cyrillic? I want to say, is it
Cyrillic?
Cyrillic. Yeah. I mean, where do I even start with that? Because I can't copy and paste it out of the lobby. So you really are stuck other than having to do it letter by letter to try and make it work. So not an easy one to do. But I try and be respectful to players. I must admit, when I do the leaderboard ladders, and when I was doing poker squads scoring, what I do for those names in those languages is I just do as I see it on a normal keyboard. So they're consistent. So if they score more than one in a week, I know I've got the score right for the week. So that works pretty well. And then if they do make the top 20, I'll then go to Party Poker and say, look, can I get this? I need this name properly so I can drop it in correctly if I need to for anything. But Luckily, I haven't had
poker. Can I have George and Dave's actual name?
Well, I haven't had too many to worry about, but I try and be, as say, as respectful as possible to the names that are in the lobby when I can. But that's my sneaky workaround in the short term, is you just type what you see, and then at least it kind of makes sense at the end of the week for the leaderboard.
Trouble is, these two are quite evenly matched, aren't they? Not in terms of chip stack at the moment, but in terms of ability, because the adjustment you normally make heads up, obviously, is based on what kind of edge you think you've got. Yeah. You don't take flips if you've got the edge, and if you think your opponent's got the edge, then you play big poker. Whereas these two are pretty even, and I think they know they are. So it's a bit more of a tactical battle.
Whenever you get heads up, Paul, do you feel like you know? Because you then played with your opponent for most of the final table or whatever. Do you then tend to feel like you've got a feel for where you are against them skill wise?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What kind of heads up match do I want to make this? And am I going to take those higher variance spots? Because I think that if we get drawn out into a long-standing tactical battle, then my opponent's edge is going to come through. Whereas here, I don't think that's the case.
And I guess if you're an amateur or recreational player and you happen to get deep in a tournament once and you come up, you've got a pro there heads up straight away, you're just kind of going, well, I'm not going to outplay this player, right? So I just need to find my spots to just get my chips in and hope I get called. Yeah.
It's basically what I like. What you say is you basically just play as big pots as you possibly can. Take their edge out of it. Don't give them like reasons to call it on the streets. Just literally pound it in their face. Because if you try and outplay them, like with your bet sizes and stuff, they're going to destroy you. So just get your chips in and see what happens, because you're not going to beat them overall if you try and outplay them.
Where was our plot with Trip Sevens back there?
But
then what do I know about heads up? I've usually chopped the tournament by this stage, like about three or four hands.
I was going to say,
All right,
I wasn't gonna make that comment, but obviously,
that wasn't.
But you've got, even the best players in the world when it comes to heads up. I mean, Ivy's finished runner-up so far in the World Series. Did I see Chris Moorman runner-up the other day?
In the
World Series in an event.
I only saw that he did make the final. I didn't see how that turned out. I've got my first ever PokerGo subscription.
Oh, Des has got one of those. He was telling a story about it the other night. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one you didn't realise you had. Yeah, of course.
Which is now renewed for another year, I think, or something.
Is Des still here? I thought he'd fallen asleep.
I'm still here. I'm riveted by your discussion. PokerGo it runs till the middle of or early part of November, so still going. So yeah, I intend to watch the main event on it in particular. Or if any Brits make a final table, I will tune into that.
If we manage to get on the rail at any point. Yeah.
Good.
So I think that's the plan for at least one of the days, to try and catch some of the latter stages of the World Series, just to experience what goes on there. Like I said earlier on in the week, normally we're out in Vegas when I've been twice before earlier on in the series, so haven't even been there when the main event has started. So I'm just curious to know what it's all like.
I've done it before. I really enjoyed it, and I'm pleased. It seems like the main event has been cut back to 2 days. So the final.
Oh, the whole thing's running in 2 days. Oh, brilliant! Oh, well, that'll get it over with quick. That'll be nice. Yeah.
So the final table is down to 2 days, whereas I think they've run it previously over 3 days. Okay. So they have a heads up stage. They've got a last three.
Is that because they've changed the structure, or just that they're going to make the days run a bit longer?
I'm not entirely sure, Lee. I don't have the answer for that, but
because I know as you said, they've stopped. Yeah, they get to 3 and go, right, we're done for the day, whatever that might be. Yeah. And that could be a very short day.
And they might be creating specific content, with the ESPN back at the time, CBS now. But I think it's running, the final table starts on a Friday evening, UK time, and I think it finishes over the Saturday night. So that just sounds like a good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it might clash with us going to see Chelsea play Club America in a pre-season game. But
it could do.
We'll see what happens.
It could do, yeah.
If Chelsea were playing in my back garden, I'd shut the curtains.
Yeah.
And we land pretty much as the bubble bursts in the main.
On the Sunday night.
We land on day 4, don't we, which I think is normally bubble day.
Yeah.
So that's going to be quite a thing to stumble across.
And to be honest, it'll be a good thing just to go over and do to try and stay awake. So it's not a bad one.
Yeah. Get over there, get something to eat, go and watch everyone locking up 20 grand or whatever min cash is in the main.
Can I recommend, i.e. Simon Lawler recommended, I think it's called Craft Steak. He recommended earlier. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Oh, is that at MGM?
I'm not entirely sure. He didn't say, but it was recommended.
MGM? I think
might be a bit much for an off.
Sport for choice. All this talk of Vegas, Leigh, I can't wait. Should we just skip that whole APAT thing?
Hey, do you know what? If you'd have asked me this afternoon, I may well have just said yes. I really might have just done that, to be honest. I'd have probably had to book a ticket for Des as well, but we could have done that. Yeah, we could have done that, honestly. It's very, very tempting.
Oh, in that case, you can just book a ticket for me, mate. It's fine. I'll take it. All right, to be fair, no one wants to hear you people talk about Vegas. Just stop it. Yeah, it's boring.
We have done Vegas, that's for sure.
It is quite a weird one, actually, because I mean, it's crept round, considering I'm sure it only feels 5 minutes ago where I was saying, oh, it's 2 months or so until we go, and we're now kind of we're very much
here we go. We're in.
Far off. And then we go King Jack versus Ace Deuce. It's the Ace Deuce at risk. Well, that's going to
that'll do it.
That's going to do that. And Oscar Rodriguez is going to pick up the win, and a very, very tidy win it is going to be in total. He is going to pick up a whopping $5,500 or $5,600 in total in the end, beating Carrie Heads Up, who picks up just over $4,000. So 2 absolutely phenomenal cashes there at the top of event number 6. Simple as that. I mean, I suppose King Jack, it was not even the strongest of hands, but I suppose if you've been sat playing Heads Up for a while, not seeing much, and it's was it Ace, and you got an Ace as well.
Jared had cranked up the aggression a little bit, so he's never in too bad shape with that.
Yeah, I don't mind it. To be fair, I think it's all right.
So let me give you a very quick update where we are with the 2 events that are happening at the moment. We're in the money now in the PLO. So as I said, we mentioned Richard Rudling-Smith just missed out. Tom Banks is out, but has got a min cash. So very well done to you, Tom. They're down to 19 now in that. Just going to give a couple of quick shout outs to those that are left in that we will recognize. John Leslie's in there. Eddie Niaksu's in there. John Sibley is there. Sam Barton. Andre Tin. Des.
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, from Kazakhstan. Yeah, so Andre is in this. Tony G is in there as well. Jonathan Gull from Belgium, who's a regular player with APAT. Second in chips is one Dan Austin at the moment. 19 of those remaining. They're playing level 19 at the moment. They'll play till level 21 tonight, and then that will conclude, and we'll see the day 2 of that tomorrow. In the mix max, they're down to 67 runners at the moment. It's paying top 65. They're in just started level 19. They're going to play to level 26 tonight, so it's going to go on for about another hour and a half, I reckon, in total. So we will see that to a conclusion tomorrow. Tomorrow night is the first of 2 turbo events, so they're 1-dayers. So that will play out tomorrow night to a conclusion. If you fancy getting involved in that, it's 7 max tomorrow night, and on the Saturday night it's a 7 max knockout. So if you fancy either of those, event in 1 day, medals up for grabs as always. As I say, tomorrow night we've got Tom Bacon and JP on the show. Saturday night is a bit of a free for all. Whoever's available from the show team is going to pile in with a few drinks as we watch that turbo knockout take place on a Saturday night, because it's the only event going on. And then Sunday night, you're back on Sunday night, Stu?
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. You're back on with. I think you're back on with Stu with JP on Sunday night, and then Paul is booked in at the moment with Dan Austin for the Monday night for the final one of the run days. Obviously, you and I are going to be here for all of them. So.
Yeah, we apologize for that, guys. Just a few extra comments. The last comments from the chat box tonight. First of all, got to get this one in. We get it. You're going to Vegas. Get a room. That can only come from Mr. Brook, of course, who is becoming a favourite, I have to say, of mine over the evenings. A quick question from Simon. Are you guys playing any World Series of Poker events?
Is that continuation of the same
well, it certainly came in at the same time period, so call it themed, yes.
The plan, yes, probably. We're there for the very last week of the series, so obviously we missed most of the stuff.
I put my events on the fantasy thread because John and Pilgrim were asking who's playing what. So
yeah, I think we landed enough time. Is it for the sevens? The seven? Is it 777?
I've got one before that because I'll play the round of each. 1500 round of each the day after we land, and then the lucky sevens after that. And
you're doing Vegas a damn sight differently than I did.
This is how each day starts.
I must admit, I'm not planning on playing anything huge. Simply for the fact is, I've not played live poker for so long.
Yeah.
That I'm not. I don't feel I'm anywhere near. Well, you listen to me talk about it on here, so you all know that I'm not anywhere near up to the sort of level of lots of the players.
Despite having, I think, 5 or 6 bracelet events lined up, the one I'm looking forward to most is at the Wins, the 1600 mystery bounty with a 2 million guarantee at the Win. That's going to be.
And I was looking at the satellites for that. So that kind of tells you where we are level wise. One thing I would just one thing I would just shout out because Mr. Houston, as always, has just messaged me with a brilliant comment, which is well worth mentioning. Late reg for the turbos is less than the other events. I think it actually might still be the same number of levels, but of course, because it's turbos, the levels are shorter. So worth just checking the lobby for the next 2 days, guys, if you're playing those turbo events. So thanks for that, Dan, because it's not just probably worth a mention. It's actually a superb thing to point out to anybody that's been watching that's the case. I know, Stu, I know.
Mr. Brooks' final comment of the night. Poor Stu. There he is. There we go. Right, guys. I think we're going to call it at that. I think we will. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Stu. Stu, get some sleep for your contribution this evening. We will see you again shortly.
Thanks for your questions, Simon Brook, about Vegas. We know how much you care. We really do. It's really appreciated that we do. We'd love you to be there with us, but honestly, we promise we'll phone you every day and give you an update. Honestly, it's the least we can do.
That's fair enough. And thanks to everybody else who said nice things about the show tonight. So, guys, have a good rest of evening. Leigh and I will be back tomorrow evening, probably at around 9 o'clock, I'm going to say, Friday night. And we look forward to it. We will see you then. Until then, gute Nacht.